Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Liverpool show, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk all things LFC. We are here to talk about, kind of the latest news just before we went live with the kind of Osimhen and Sesko situation. So we are going to be addressing that. We're going to be talking about our win against Everton, and we're going to be previewing the game against Fulham, ladies and gentlemen, because we play them Sunday. 2 p.m. kickoff. Time change now, isn't it? March 30th. The clock moved back. Joining us first and foremost, the English version of myself. Absolutely love working with this guy. And I'm a big fan of his work. Jazza is in the building. How are you doing, Jazza?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain. Just had some good food and ready to go.
Big up to you, Jamie. Big up. Your mic is really loud, by the way. I don't know why.
Oh, it's because it's this.
Yeah, your mic is very loud. Yeah, try to reduce the volume or something.
I'll
Anyway.
lower it down. I'll lower it down on the...
No worries. Joining us next, he lost all the New York grit when he made the move to the West Coast. You get me? Bougie Mike is in the building. How doing, Mike?
Every time it's the same thing. You know what? I'm gonna live with it. But everything's good. Everything's good. Hope
You wanna know why I said it again? Because it annoyed you last week. So I just annoy you again.
Yeah. It doesn't annoy me. I'm just pointing out a lack of creativity here. But big up. Like the video.
Hey, I'm a Liverpool fan after all. We had a lack of creativity against Everton. Might as well mimic the team.
We've had a lack of creativity for 7 straight games. But big up everybody. Like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff that YouTubers do, and let's just get cracking.
Yes, sir. Joining us next, you get me from took some time off from Hollywood to join us on the stream, but he only has an hour because he's a massive celebrity now. You get me? Man like Endz is in the building. Hi, Endz. You're on mute. You're a professional.
He pulled a Jerry.
Come on, man.
My bad. Apologies. I said, no, my bad. I haven't been around, and thanks for the invite. Just been mad busy, man. That's all it is. But listen, I can't wait to chop up Liverpool, man. We won again, so let's talk.
Same. Actually, really look forward to the show, specifically given the news we heard today. I really do want to hear you guys' opinions because, most of the people I've spoken about agree with my take on one of the guys at least. But anyway, I'm gonna get you guys' views on it. And joining us as well, back on the Liverpool show because it's been a while since I've seen him. And okay, that's fine. I'll add you in when you're ready. Are you ready? Let me know when you're ready in the private messages. So he's gonna be joining us whenever he's ready, guys. So I think he's just on a phone call or something. So anyway, big up to all of you guys. 200 people in the building. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. We haven't even started the show yet. Let's get the likes up early. And let's get this party started, man. Sesko, Osimhen, before we even speak about Liverpool, Everton. Obviously, as you guys know, I could even include Isak in that. For these last kind of 3 hours, Liverpool Twitter has been exploding with debate and conversations. Isak, Sesko, Osimhen, we admire Osimhen. There's a possibility we sign Isak. We obviously... we admire man like Emeka's in the building. Hi, Emeka. Big up to you, brother. And we admire Osimhen is the latest thing we got in today's kind of news briefing. Endz, I'm gonna start off with you because it's been a while. Talk to me, brother. What do you make of this transfer saga? Who do you prefer? Who do you think suits us more? Who do you think we get? Talk to me.
Crazy, bro. I prefer Isak, to be fair, but now you've mentioned, Osimhen. That's another very, very good player as well. I know a lot of the fans, because he's playing obviously in the Turkish league now, he's kind of been the forgotten man in some sense, but he scored quite a few goals this season as well. I think he's got 20 so far in the league, and he probably continue to score no matter where he plays. I thought he would probably end up at Chelsea though. I always thought, okay, he's probably like a Chelsea type player more than a Liverpool type player. But my preference is still going to be Isak, man. I think he's here. He's doing it now. He's done it last season. I think he's a perfect for us. And you said Sesko as well, Benjamin. I like him as well. Still young, still talented. But I thought maybe if we get Isak, then Arsenal would probably get him. I think that's probably how it's going to work. Or maybe they get Gyökeres. Maybe that's the guy that they are interested in. But still Isak for me, bro. Always.
Out of, I feel like Isak is a cop out because we would all say Isak, but out of the rest ends, we've been linked to hella names. Osimhen, Gyökeres, whoever, Delap, Ekitike, Sesko. Who's your preference out of the others? Because Isak is someone we all agree on.
I know. I like. To be fair though, I like all the other ones as well. I like Benjamin because I think he's an underrated youngster. He's still only 21. He's still got bags of potential. He's talking about speed, strength, can score left foot, right foot, great in the air. You're talking about Osimhen, man. This guy, he's a killer. He can miss chances though. That's the thing. I don't know because our fan base don't like chances that you miss them simple chances. He can miss them, but he is deadly. He's quick, strong, and he's great in the air. So if I had to choose, probably Osimhen, just because he's played in the Italian league as well. I'll probably go just because of the experience. And I think we need an experienced striker. I don't want to do this whole let's just trial someone now. We've done that with Nunes, we've done that. Jota, we can't stay fit. We need someone now to lead this line. So I'd go with the more experienced player. So I'd go Osimhen. But Benjamin's cheap as well. Yeah, why not? Yeah, get them both.
Guys, does anyone want to let Harp? You can just talk. It's not
Yeah.
you ain't new here.
Sorry. Go ahead. I was just gonna say I completely agree. Like I think what's kind of funny is, and you can vouch for this, Susam. I think maybe I don't know if it was 2, 3, or 4 months ago, but I messaged you and I'm like, don't be surprised if we get linked to Isak. Like I could see Edwards going for him, and I think like a week later, all of that stuff broke, right? So it's funny how that's kind of played out. But again, I think as you said, obviously everybody would take Isak, Premier League proven, perfect age, and then he just has that it factor, right? That thing you can't really put into words, but you know it when you see it. And Isak, of all the options, Isak has that it factor, right? So obviously that's who everybody would want. But as Endz said, I think the next best option is definitely Osimhen. Same thing, sort of at that perfect age. He has the physical profile for the Prem, right? Fast, tall, direct. Another thing is we play, like you'll see this year, a lot of the times we're playing, we spam a lot of crosses sometimes, and we don't really have like a potent header of the ball. And Osimhen is definitely that sort of player. So I think I do think he would actually fit very nicely in our team. He presses well.
Yeah.
He can lead that press on the front line, which I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I don't know how I feel about slots like pressing structure. I don't know if it's a personnel issue, but I just feel like our press isn't quite where I would want it to be. Hopefully that gets better next year, but I think Osimhen is the type of player that could definitely help in that regard. The other options like Sesko and Ekitike, like I'm personally not sold. To me, those are like YouTube ballers to me, like YouTube compilation ballers to me. Like I don't believe in that. Like I believe in the guys that have done it. Osimhen's actually won, right? He's won out in Italy. You want winners in your team, right? You want guys that play for their international teams, start for their international teams. And the only two guys of the options that I'm hearing that fit that mold are Osimhen and Isak. So I think we should focus there. If we can't get either of those two, I would rather us direct our attention to getting like a potent, maybe a goal-scoring winger. Just someone. I just think it's about it factor now. As you kind of hinted at, Hussam, we don't need another project. We did the Nunes thing. We've all lived through that. I think it's like no more of that. Let's go and get someone that we know is going to come and do their thing. So that's where I'm at with it.
We're not buying a player that we're linked with. Simple as that. All these strikers that we're linked with, we ain't buying not one single one of them. Not buying any of them. We don't buy players that we're linked with under the Michael Edwards days, and they're back now. So I expect someone completely different. Simple
Who
as
do you
that.
think then, Jay,
Osimhen
would go
won't come.
for?
He's too old. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just don't think we're going to be buying anyone we're linked with. Look, Liverpool want a left back, yeah? If Liverpool want to buy Kirkes, buying Kirkis will make him, I think, like the 6th most expensive left back of all time. Liverpool then ain't going to go and spend 70 million on a striker at the same time if you're buying a 45 million pound left back. We're just not. It's just the way we run. I expect them to go and get a striker that we ain't been linked with, that still might be a really good player, but we have doubts about. But then will prove us wrong in the years to come, because that's how we roll. People might not like this take, but this is how we roll under this football club. You know, we will get a player. He will not be everyone's cup of tea, and then in 3 years' time, we'll look back at it and go, "Oh shit, we were right getting him." You know, that's just the way we do it. I just don't see us getting Osimhen. He's on 250 grand a week at the moment. I just don't see us getting him. I think he's at the age range as well. Isak is not. I'd be shocked if he leaves Newcastle. Why should he leave Newcastle as well? Julian Alvarez only had 1 year at Atletico Madrid. He's the guy I would want, but we ain't getting him. Jonathan David on a free. I don't think we're going to do a free transfer. We barely do free transfers. And, you know, look at the free transfers we bought. Probably Matip, Milner, and can't remember the first guy Klopp bought, but the centre-back, I can't remember his name now. We don't really do them sort of transfers. So
Matip.
I think Matip, that's it. I think we get too many. We've got too many other things to do and fill up in this team. You know, we're going to need a right back probably. We're definitely getting a left back. We might need a centre back. We might need a left winger if one of them leaves. I just can't see us splashing 70 or 80 quid on a striker, especially everyone that's linked. So I know people don't like to hear that, but I think that's the way it's going.
What if we accumulate the funds with the outgoings of like Nunes and potential others as well? Could they then not use that to go towards a new striker?
Yeah,
that's what I'm
go
thinking.
for 45 million left back. 45 million pound left back. Then a new right back, then a new centre back, new left winger, and then maybe 40 or 50. Because what we're usually very good at under the old Michael Edwards days is being linked with a lot of players, thinking we go for them, and then we get someone totally different just so it takes everyone off the scent. That's the way we used to work. I just don't see Osimhen coming. I don't see Isak coming. I don't see Benjamin Sesko coming. And the only one I see a possibility, which no one's going to like, is Liam Delap. That's the only one I see because he's 40 million quid. He's going to get relegated with Ipswich probably. And we'll see that as a market opportunity. You know that's what they'll say. It's a market opportunity signing of Liam Delap. Because I know a lot of people have been talking about Liam Delap, but I think he's going to be a quality player in the years to come. He will be one of them players that no one will like. But in the years to come, he'll prove everyone wrong probably. But I'm not saying that's what we should do. I just think that's what our club will do, personally.
He just reminds me of another Ferguson at Brighton, someone that has talent, but can they really go and show it? But yeah, I look at the outgoings more. We say we need a left back, and if that's what Kirk is going to cost, you'd sell either Robbo or probably Tsimikas. Probably it's going to be Tsimikas. You could easily get at least 20 million for him. You're going to sell Nunes. What was the value in January for him? That's probably not going to go down.
I think we only get 3 to 5 million for Tsimikas. No more than that.
No, we'll get more than that.
We only bought him for 11.
We'll get a profit. There's no way we're selling him for 3 million. That's crazy.
No.
I reckon 5 million.
And Jimmy, I think I actually.
I understand where Jamie's coming from, but I think the landscape of transfers in general and transfer rumors since Michael Edwards was last here is a completely different landscape. I think the way journalists act now, the way Fabrizio wants to be the first to report every single piece of news, the way Ornstein is now a FSG shill, I think all of this makes a massive difference to the information that we're getting. And at the end of the day, you only have 5-6 options in general, and we've been linked to all of them. Whichever one it is, whether it's Isak, Ekitike, etc. All these players, even Ekitike is not even mentioned in the title. We have been linked to him. So every single striker that we can sign this summer is actually someone at some point in time over the last month that we have been linked with. And I do agree with what Endz is saying with one thing. I disagree with the other. I agree in terms of outgoings because me and Tom did this, I think, about a week ago, we sat here and we gave an objective, like genuine, who is going to leave this summer and how much money we could make. There's a possibility we make around 200, 300 million just purely off of sales. And I think that can, like, obviously help us with like what we're actually going to spend. And as well, one thing I just disagree with Endz on is the Sesko take. For me, I think Sesko is just Darwin Núñez waiting to happen. Like, I think he's literally Darwin Núñez with a left foot. He's just the same exact player. He's just really rapid, really quick, but isn't clinical in front of goal. Has got good shot on him. Doesn't have a good first touch. Doesn't link up play well. Like, a couple of times I've watched Sesko. He's just not ready for this level. He's not ready to be Liverpool's number 9. I'd rather have Ekitike, Delap, any of the other options. Like, I would actually genuinely be pissed off if we signed Sesko. Like, I would actually be annoyed because I don't think we have time, specifically if Salah stays. Let's say Salah stays at the football club, Van Dijk stay. Let's say those two, as per the reports, those two stay and Trent leaves. If they both stay, we don't have time for like this whole potential striker, specifically given the fact that we'd want to go back to back next season. We want to like challenge for the Champions League. I don't think Sesko helps us win the Premier League or the Champions League next season.
I mean, I think that, okay, first and foremost, we need to remove the word link from our vocabulary because that just doesn't exist anymore. If Alexander Isak flies from Newcastle to London and it goes over Liverpool, David Ornstein is going to tweet that Alexander Isak has been seen over Liverpool airspace, link inbound. So, you know, I understand Jamie's hesitancy towards the upcoming transfer window. I think it's a very real possibility that we sign the unexpected player. I agree with Endz. I don't see how Isak leaves Newcastle if they qualify for the Champions League. And given the fact that it's going to be top 5, that's more than likely. I don't see Julian Alvarez leaving Atletico Madrid. But, you know, I try to not get caught up in the names, right? Because, you know, we don't have any power and you can drive yourself crazy trying to pick, okay, which one of these 6 strikers is going to work the best at our team? But wait, I don't actually spend the money for this team. So why am I spending 3 hours talking about Victor Osimhen? At the end of the day, I have to trust Michael Edwards because he's the man in charge and he's given Richard Hughes whatever power he's given Richard Hughes power. And Michael Edwards hasn't done me wrong in the past. All I know is I need a striker that can stay fit and can hit a target. That's it. All of the other intangibles, they are what they are. You know, whatever the intangibles are with Liam Delap versus Alexander Isak versus Benjamin Sesko, I don't care, right? I know for a fact I have one striker who can't hit a target, and I have another striker who can't stay healthy. How do I meet the middle? I find a striker that can stay healthy and hit the target. If Mo Salah is going to be at this club next season, that also has a lot to do with which striker we're going to get. If Luis Diaz is going to leave and Cody Gakpo is going to be our starting left winger, that's going to affect what striker we get. If we decide that we're just not going to create through the midfield whatsoever and just stick to wing play, that's going to affect the striker that we get. All I know is those are the 2 elements that need to be addressed. And whether that's some 20 million pound player that you buy from Brazil, or that's Liam Delap, or you want to spend 150 million pounds on Alexander Isak, I don't care. Just figure out that one component and get it done. To me, the name does not make a difference because it's the quality that we're missing.
I don't think both strikers leave though. I genuinely,
no, for sure.
Just money wise,
yeah.
Because you did mention Michael Edwards, just purely money wise. Purely money wise, I don't see us getting much money for Jota, so the club will probably keep him. In my honest opinion, 100%. I think Núñez is as good as gone. I think he will be sold this summer. Diaz, it depends if Barcelona come in for him. If Barcelona come in for him and he wants to leave, he might go. But I don't see us selling both Núñez and Jota. I think Jota will be our backup striker next season. That's what I think.
But if we think that this club is going to operate the way that we did when we sold Felipe Coutinho, now given the fact that we're going to have Premier League winners money and, you know, all of the other extensions beyond transfers out,
Champions League, etc.
Yeah. So like, let's just say that's like 100 million, whatever. And let's say you scrounge up 200 million for, you know, 7-8 players that you end up selling. So you've got 300 million. The way that I see it working is it's not going to be something where it goes, okay, I have 300 million. I'm going to spend 150 on Isak. It's going to be, okay, how much did I sell Darwin for? All right, I sold Darwin for 50. What's the maximum amount that I'm willing to put forward towards that beyond the 50? Let's say it's 15. Let's say it's 20. All right, max target 70 million. Let's say we sell Tsimikas for 15 million. All right, Kirkez 40 million, so I'm only 25 million in on this deal. I think that's the way that it's going to operate. It's going to be based on how much am I selling this player for? Therefore, how much am I going to add to it? So if the club's willing to sell Luis Diaz for 60, in reality, we're really only spending 20 million on an 80 million pounds left winger, but it's by the position, if that makes sense.
That's if these players leave.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing. I think they will look for people to buy Darwin. I think they will look if Diaz wants. If someone comes in for Luis Diaz for a good amount of money, they'll sell him. If no one does, he'll be here next season. You know,
I don't think Diaz is going anywhere.
It all depends. It all depends if players actually get sold. I mean, we can all work out the prices of people getting sold, but if these clubs don't actually come in for them, we can't actually let them go. So we need these clubs to come in for our players, obviously, to make this money.
But they have done, to be fair. They have done, like, Nunes got a Saudi offer. Diaz did get an offer from Man City just last summer.
I have a little bit of a controversial take, maybe, and we'll see where the conversation goes from here. But I know that a lot of people don't rate certain individuals in our team. But then when you look at the way that they play with their international team, per se, all of a sudden, I see a completely different version. Now, that would then beg the question, okay, do I need to get rid of this player, or do I just need to look at a different area of the team, rebalance it, and then that way I can see the best version of everyone else? I know that, you know, the conversation goes to Mo being the facilitator, Mo being the creator. Let's just say he signs a 2-year extension. You might not need to sell Luis Diaz. I think Darwin, everyone on here, I think we could all agree we want to upgrade on Darwin.
He's gone this summer.
But, but we might not need to get rid of Luis Diaz if you can figure out a way to rebalance that midfield so that we're not always creating from out wide. Just look at the way that we scored against Everton. We attacked the wings the whole game, and then the one time a midfielder decides to say, I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to play it in an incisive pass from a central position.
I know exactly what you're hinting at, but here's the problem. In the same articles that I speak about, Ornstein said that midfield is like really down in our priority list.
I don't think that's. See, I saw that article too, and I think that's what that Jamie was referring to, in a sense where I think that's one where they're trying to put water on the fire, and I think they're doing the work behind the scenes. I just don't see any chance that Slot doesn't get a midfielder just to play his style of football. Like, it's quite clear that the midfield we have isn't in the mold.
And Gravenberg was huffing and puffing in February as well.
Especially when we was linked in the summer with a midfielder as well.
Exactly.
I do think it's a different type now, though.
Okay, but would you be upset if, let's just say we signed, I don't know, I'm going to be a conservative on the striker. Let's say we signed Liam Delap, right? But you went out there and you got a facilitator in the midfield, and all of a sudden I start to see the Colombian version of Luis Diaz. I start to see the Hungarian version of Dominik Szoboszlai. I start to see not such a sole reliance on getting the ball to Mo Salah. All of a sudden, the team is a little bit more balanced. Everyone gets better. Like, I don't think this club needs a gutting and a complete, remodeling of the inside of the house. I just think that we need to prioritize a little bit more on how we play.
I don't think we need a rebuild, but remodeling definitely.
That's a mentality issue, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I
was about to actually say that. Like, I think when you brought up Sobo and seeing the Hungary version of Sobo, like, I think that's more a mentality thing with Sobo. Like, I just don't think, like, when you're playing for Liverpool and the expectation, you have a 70 million euro price tag on your head, you're playing for a team that's expected to compete on all fronts, etc. The expectations are different than when you're the captain of Hungary. They've never really done anything in international football. You're the prodigal son. They look to him for everything. Like, it's even if you've played sports, when you play on a team where you're one of many good players versus where you're that main guy and everyone knows you're the best player, it's a completely different feeling because you can play completely free because you're the only guy that can do anything. So even if you don't play your best, no one's going to blame you because they're looking to you to do everything. Whereas when he's playing with Liverpool, he's never going to have that same sort of freedom. So it's an internal thing.
Obviously, will never be looked at as our best player, even if Salah leaves.
That isn't
No
that
one will
isn't
look
that
at
isn't that isn't what I'm saying. I'm not saying
No,
that
I'm
he needs
responding to
to
what
be the
Emeka
number
is
They'll
one
saying.
guy.
stand up a bit
When
more.
we're
Though, I
talking
think.
about like our midfield, here's the thing that I said earlier on Kopish with our midfield, and I genuinely have that opinion. I think for midfield now, there's one or two solutions. There is no third solution in my opinion. You either get a destroyer DM, someone who is a tackler, someone who's more defensive minded, if you would like, to kind of release Szoboszlai, release McAllister, release Gravenberch, or you convert Szoboszlai into another DM, and then you buy a number 10 whose best attribute is creativity. There is no other solution. You either get a creative 10 like a Shirky, like a whoever, someone who is just so good at creating chances, taking risks, or you go get a destroyer DM who is just a tackler, who just defends really well, stops the team counterattacking. And that way you kind of release the other two midfielders in the team to create. I don't think there is any other solution besides the two solutions that I just said, because I don't see kind of any logic in us signing another, let's say, McAllister prototype or Gravenberch prototype or even Sobos. Like we don't need that. We need someone who's either unbelievably creative or unbelievably defensive minded and like so good on the tackle. That's what I think would really help this football club. And Mike is right. We could find better versions of players. Here's what I think. Here's genuinely like what I think Nunes goes because he himself has been hinting at leaving with all the articles and everything. Tsimikas, same. I think we are going to have Tsimikas leave this football club. Now, the thing is with the other two centre backs, I think Gomez and Kwanzaa might both ask to leave, but we'll keep one of them. So I think that the centre back situation also might be interesting this summer. And with Diaz, it's not the fact that we want to sell. I think it's more the fact that he might ask to leave. Specifically, like we win the league this season, Barcelona call him up and they're like, yo, we want a left winger or whatever it is. That's what, like his dream club to play for. So he might just end up
dad's dream club to play for,
and his dad's dream club as well, because as he made us aware like 500 million times already. So he might just go play left wing at Barcelona, and then we have to sign players. As things stand, like based off of who I know leaves, I think we sign a striker definitely. I think we sign a left back definitely. And despite what Ornstein said, I do think we are going to be looking at a midfielder because Elliott looks like he's gone as well. With all
why do you think the midfield roles change though, Sam? Because you said destroyer or get a creative one, which is I think that's fair as well. But obviously the only one that he's gone for is Zubimendi, and he's kind of like both. He is a semi-type of destroyer, but he's a ball-playing midfielder. Why do you think it would have changed? Like his profile of player that he's looking for in that midfield role?
The reason why I think it will change is the lessons that he learned this season. And also we're kind of the type of the football club that if we go in for someone and he rejects us, but we really think he's the guy, we might try again. And we haven't even been linked to Zubimendi. Like it's been all the other football clubs that have been linked to him. Like we have completely went like, this is not what we need right now. The reason why I say that is, look, you watch this Liverpool team right now. Mike pointed out something about the Everton game, which we'll get into in a bit. Look, the only time we scored a goal is when a midfielder decided to do something creative for once the whole game. Diaz lays it off to Jota. Jota, individual brilliance, goal. That's that. Like, we literally had the same issues, in my opinion, Newcastle and PSG and Everton, which is such a serious lack of creativity. Signing a DM that's a destroyer now means there is less defensive workload on Gravenberch and McAllister, so they can be freer to go forward and express themselves. Or the other thing, which is Szoboszlai, listen, you're fantastic at working hard and tackling and etc. I'm going to make you a DM option for me. I'm going to now play someone in the 10 that's creative. So if I bring in a Shirky as an example and place him in yesterday's game, in the game 2 days ago, he would have created a chance. 100% in those, like, even if he played 70 minutes, he'd have created at least one big chance. He would have put it on a plate for someone. And I think that's what Szoboszlai lacks. And that's my honest opinion.
Do you know what I think?
That's a fair point.
I think I don't think we'll get a midfielder. There's a certain Spanish midfielder coming back in the summer, and he wasn't fit, I believe, last pre-season to get a real look at him properly. I think at pre-season, Slot's go have a big look at Stefan, and if he really impresses him, I don't think we go and get a midfielder, because he'll see Stefan as Gravenberch rotation, and then you got Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
But Elliott is gonna go though.
I
Yeah,
think Elliott stays. I don't think Elliott goes anywhere.
Would you rate him though? Because I've heard you guys say you don't rate.
I'm not a massive. I don't rate Stefan that highly. I think he's very overhyped by the Liverpool community after playing 20 games. I think he's extremely overhyped.
I'm like Jamie.
He's 20 years old.
I don't give a shit.
You don't see nothing he does that's good that he can come in and do something for
He has
this football.
potential, man. He has potential.
Well, he went on loan.
I know, but he's playing right now. He's essentially playing that destroyer position in Spain. That's what he's doing. Now, to answer Enz's question, the reason why I think the profile changed is because of where Szoboszlai is positioned when we have possession. When we have possession, he is so far advanced, and we try to get him the ball, right? But whether it's because he feels like Mo needs to be the facilitator, or his touch is failing him on the day, or whatever it happens to be, he's not able to be that number 10.
Why? Can I ask you why?
What?
Why?
What do you mean?
It seems like always with Sly, we're incapable of just being constructive.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Did he get the ball in the final third against Everton? Did he or did he not? Genuinely, he did. There were points in time where he got the ball.
Back away from the ledge
I'm
for
gonna
a
say one
second.
sentence and then I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay.
He got the ball against Everton in dangerous positions in the final third about 4 or 5 times. Ya Habibi, you're the number 10. Yahi, shoot. Play the ball through. Take a risk.
Listen.
The problem with Szoboszlai, he doesn't take enough risk. I think there was a moment in time where Gravenberch ran past like 2 people, passed it to Szoboszlai right outside the penalty box. This is where the number 10 operates. Like, Endz is a coach. He'd be telling his number 10 there, do something decisive, bro. Like, do something decisive. And Szoboszlai doesn't do that enough. That's the reality.
Okay, but you're going off the ledge in the wrong way. This was not a statement to defend Szoboszlai. This was a statement to show that Szoboszlai is not the mold, right? Like he's what he's using now. For whatever reason, he rates Szoboszlai higher than Harvey Elliott. I don't know. I'm not inside his head. But based on where he plays when we have possession, that would indicate to me that he is supposed to be an important role when we are in possession trying to break into the final third. If that's the case now, because in the summer we went after Zubimendi, but that's before a season. Almost a full season has now been played. It wouldn't be crazy for me to assume that somehow your priorities have now changed. Given the way we play, it would make more sense in my eyes that he goes out and he buys a player to replace Szoboszlai in that position than to buy a destroyer.
Like who?
Yeah, who would do that?
Again, I don't know. Like I'm not.
I already know one player we actually do and I did announce it on the show.
Names like that is not my game. I am not the transfer wizard.
That is my game. I tell you, Liverpool like Baena. So
if I woke up in the Matrix, like literally, if I woke up in the Matrix, do we know how our football club runs?
yes.
Did anyone really think we'll go buy Isak?
Yeah, if we sell the players that we think we're gonna sell, yes.
Yeah, I do.
When was the last?
And you know, I'm a staunch FSG outer as well. So when it comes to this whole thing, like I'm not.
I would agree with you if Isak was the only player we needed that summer. I'll be totally
okay, Jamie. You want
We
me to
need
break
too
it down
many.
to you numbers
Too
wise?
many.
How much does Nunes leave for? I'm gonna. You say the numbers. How much does Nunes leave for?
I think he goes on loan. I don't even think we sell him.
No way.
Come on, Jamie. Man.
No. I think he's
Jamie,
going
that's a crazy conspiracy.
on-
Okay,
no,
without
I think he's going
conspiracies,
on loan
how much
with
does
the
Nunes
purpose
go
to
for?
buy.
Without
He'll go on-
conspiracies, how much does
He'll go,
Nunes go
no,
for?
he'll go on loan for 1 year, then he'll go for 70 million.
I think he goes for 70
Loan to
this
buy.
summer.
It'll be a loan to
Yeah.
buy.
Listen, he's gonna go for 70. Okay.
Telling you.
How much will Simicast go for? 15.
5.
Whatever.
No.
5 max.
10
Okay,
max.
let's meet in the middle. 10. Okay, fairs. So he's gonna go for 10. That's 80. How much does Diaz go for?
Who?
How much does Diaz go for?
Diaz isn't getting sold. Diaz isn't getting sold.
A can of
I
Coke
think
and
Diaz
chicken
will
leg.
ask to leave this summer.
But Barcelona can't buy him. They can't buy him.
Do you really believe that Barcelona have no money, Emeka? They do this to us every summer and you still buy it? Where did they buy all these players from?
Who did they
Fish
buy?
market?
Who did they
Come
buy?
on, man. They always pull 2-3 levers and it's
I
like,
think
oh,
we,
yeah,
I
let's
think
go.
I think
It's
at this
not,
moment in
yeah.
time we only sell 3 players in the summer.
They only bought Olmo last summer, no? They didn't
I
buy
think Nunes is gone. I think
I
Diaz
think
will
Nunes,
actually
Kelleher, and
Kelleher.
Gallagher.
Simicas and look at
And-
what Slot's doing with Elliot.
and Alisson Becker.
No.
Right.
There's a reason. There's a reason we bought Marmadashvili.
Usam, just
They are not going to let. They're not going to let Alisson Becker leave on a free. I'm telling
What's-
you.
Usam,
think
can we get
Gomez
the
goes
numbers?
well
Because
that
I want to
way.
hear where we're going with this. What's
I
the
think Gomez
numbers?
Okay, when me and Tom did the calculation for all the players, right, that
Yeah.
were leaving this summer, based off of what we know, meaning Elliot not being played by Slot, been linked to a move away since August. More than
Yeah.
likely he's gonna leave. Okay, so I'm not saying it based off of what I want or blah blah blah. We're just going based off of news. So Nunes leaves, Diaz leaves, Elliot leaves, Endo leaves. One of the centre backs goes, Simicas goes, Kelleher goes,
Oh, you can't let Endo.
and
what's
Tyler
the number?
Tyler Morton is gonna go this summer.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Ben
you're
Doak, who was also linked to move to Bournemouth, is going to go to Bournemouth as well. He could be part of that Kirkas deal. That's already 9 players. Now, Nunes, conservative 60 million. He loses 10 million in value because maybe they don't get what they get in January. So 60. Diaz, 60. That's 120. Ben Doak, 20. That's 140.
You think 60 for Diaz? We paid 40 for him.
No, but
we'll
here's
get
the thing.
more.
Profit.
Mike
It's
brought
all
up
about
something.
profit.
The way that me and you and all the panelists look at Diaz is not the way he's looked at around Europe.
Yeah.
Or else he wouldn't be linked to Barcelona. He'd be linked to Crystal Palace.
Fair.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I think we get 60, 20 for Doak. I think we get like 10 for Morton, 10 for Simicas. Kwanzaa might want to leave or Gomez, so that makes a difference. I think Elliot goes for about 40. That
Right.
alone, like literally Elliot, because it's with Elliot. You guys work with me long enough. I'm a fan of Elliot. But if the manager is not playing you and you've been linked to a move away since August, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
And
Like, oh, you're gonna
keeps
stay.
comparing him as well
Yeah,
to Mo Salah as well. He's basically saying you're not in the 10. Because he said
Yeah.
in his last press conference, he was like, it's hard for him to get game because Mo's not. I'm like, right, so you only look at him as the winger then.
As
You're
the
not-
right winger.
Yes, you're not.
And he
the
got,
right, bro.
and apparently he got Chiesa, so he could play Elliot. In
So
the
that's
10
200
more.
mil.
And
Sam.
speaking of
Yeah.
Chiesa, another one linked to the move away.
Chiesa.
Speaking
that's
of
200
Jota, another one linked to the
200
move
mil.
away.
Sam, that's 200 mil then. That's more than enough to go and get Isak.
We're gonna make a lot. We're gonna raise a lot of money.
100 mil plus FSG model, right?
Mm.
Jamie asked, do you know the owners? I do. FSG model, I think we have 100 million to spend this summer easy.
Easily.
FSG
Oh,
model.
On top of the money
yes.
we get. Okay.
It is the realistic thing that'll happen. Ben Doak will go on loan. Tyler Morton will go on loan. Alisson Becker. I know people are laughing at this, but I don't think people realise that Alisson Becker was very close to leaving last summer. I don't think
He's
people
also said
realise
he's
it.
not leaving though. He said he's not
Yeah,
going.
well, a transfer comes in for him, he's off. He was very, very close to leaving in the summer.
Oh, sorry, Jamie, just before you go. Kelleher, 40 million right there. That's
Nah,
where
25 million for Kelleher because he's in the last year. of his
Chelsea.
contract.
But the article last week just came out. Chelsea are going to pay 40. Why are you minimizing
They're
it by
not
half?
going- I'm telling you, they're not going to pay it. Kelleher will go for 25 million.
Well, how
Chelsea
much-
just paid
Jamie,
70
how
for
much- how much
Quenda.
is someone
Some
gonna pay
random
for Chelsea?
this guy.
We're going to take
Who's
Chelsea
gonna
to the
pay for
cleaners for him.
Yeah, we
We
are
are.
going to take Chelsea for the cleaners. You know, you
Absolutely.
said, do you know the club? Do you know how Edwards operates? He sells really well.
I am shocked. Everyone in the chat is like this guy and says Deb, I think poverty, Debbie Downer. It's like you think we're all owned by Saudis all of a sudden. Where have we
But that's
all
not
been
what I'm
for the last
saying.
few
But we've
years?
accumulated transfer money, so we know it's not. We're not relying on
that.
that.
That's
Can
not
I-
going
We're
to
relying on sales. So we're
Can I just
doing
say
it
one more
them
player?
sales,
Can I just say one more player that you've missed out? And
Who?
I'm pretty sure this guy might go. Cody Gapco could go.
No, he's not going.
Nah, I
And
don't
do you
see
want to
it.
know why?
He's
Do you
not
want to know
going.
why? There's been stuff in Germany now where Bayern Munich are willing
You
to
made
pay
Jamie lose it.
75 million for him.
That's what we're doing tonight, bro. We're just all right. Fair enough.
Bayern Munich are willing to bid
It's bad
75
enough.
million for him.
Okay,
You won't
can we
turn that down.
just establish
You
some
won't
guys?
turn that down.
This is
Guys,
the hot
can we
take
just
show.
can we just establish something, please? As we're doing this stream, can we allow the conspiracy theories, please? When I ask you a question, it's just based off of what the fuck the journalist is saying. I'm not making stuff up. I swear. I can't say like, oh, Gakpo's leaving this summer. Oh, Soboslai, we're gonna make like 20 million pound profit on him. I'm not making shit up from my own. Like, oh, I think this happens. I'm going based off objectively speaking. Objectively, Tsimikas is gonna leave. Objectively, Nunes is gonna leave. Elliot is not being played by the manager and has been linked to a move away since August, so it's objective for me to say he might go. Endo, we looked at selling him anyway in the summer. Has he played his way into the rotation being a DM option? Okay, anyway, he's just 10 million, so it doesn't matter. Okay? One of Gomez and Kwanzaa will want to leave so they can start at another football club. Completely objective take. Diaz, if you win the league this season and Barcelona come in for him, he will want to leave. This is objective reality. I'm not making shit up.
We're not giving him a
60
new
million
contract.
right there.
We're not giving him a new contract. What does Edwards do? Edwards will not let players run down their contracts anymore. And I think we'll keep Endo, by the way, because we've got a Japanese tour. That one makes
We
sense.
might keep Endo. I don't see. I don't
We'll
see
make
us
loads
not
of money
keeping
off him.
I don't even think that's the crazy thing Kmack said. The craziest thing is
We
the
will.
Gakpo.
We'll make loads of money off him. Everyone will buy
I think
Endo shirts.
Gakpo's staying. I think Gakpo's staying. I can't lie to
I
you.
hope he
So,
does.
point is, when we added up all the money and with the kids, Ben Doak, Tyler Mortar, etc., we make minimum 200 M's. 200 million plus 100 million transfer budget, being very conservative here with all the money we made in the Champions League, Premier League winners, blah, blah, blah. 300 million. Isak, you get him for 120.
Yeah.
I know he's been quoted at 150. If Newcastle don't make top 4, if they make top 4, don't even try. Go look somewhere else. You get me? I think you could probably negotiate Kirkus down to 40. Your right back replacement is also only going to cost 30 to 40. Sherky has a release clause of 20 million pounds. Baena is only going to cost 30 million pounds, and we like him from Villarreal. I've just solved the whole problem for like 220 even. That's just 20 million plus sales. Like that's it.
That's the FSG model. We use what we have. You know.
Yeah,
what
I'm
we
using the FSG model. I'm not even doing anything crazy.
And I think the left back and right back position are the two positions where I don't think we'll get the people we're linked with. Like I don't see FSG putting 40 million on a left back. Like I don't think they value that position at that price. I just don't.
I think it'll be more than like 30 plus 10 bonuses.
I think we'll sign in Capier, and he'll be the left back and the centre back.
Wouldn't he be more though than the 40 million?
Yeah, I think we'll sign him.
There are a lot of cheap options out there in the market, and we all agree here, right? We're not the type of people to come here and go like, let's go sign Camavinga and Valverde and Frankie de Jong. We understand the way that the club is run. That's why I think Jamie is losing his shit more at Kmack's 2 wild takes as he comes in hot, drops in 2 bombs, you get me, in the ocean,
It's
and
not
then
just Kmack's every
Jamie just exploded.
It's
Man said, I
mad.
think Gakpo leaves. I don't know where. Like, Gakpo ain't leaving, bro. We're
Jamie,
good on
that's
that.
why we have a great show together, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gone, man.
So what are you not believing in, Jamie? Because I think everything
What
that
do you not
everyone
believe
said,
in what
what
I
are you not
said?
believing?
I'm actually confused. Like
I'm
who's
not-
not going to get sold?
I didn't say anything that wild. That was
Jamie,
Scout
conspiracy
Germany.
I'm not-
aside,
Well, I don't make
conspiracy
that up.
aside, if Jamie just goes based off of what journalists say, right? Forget my or your opinion. Just
go on,
pure
what journalists
journalism.
say. What
Journalism. Nunes gone. Tsimikas
Yeah.
gone. Diaz
Yeah.
gone. Elliot out of the manager's plans gone. One of the other centre backs gone. Morton and Ben Doak will both leave for
Gone.
money, in my opinion.
Mhm. All right, and then we still get Liam Delap up front.
I don't
want
think
that
that's
Edwards,
impossible.
bro.
I think we can get Delap up top. I'm not
Do
denying that.
you really want Delap up front? Are we being like,
I'd
No,
rather Delap up
I
top.
want Julian Alvarez. I've been on market to say that plenty of times. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I want Julian Alvarez. If I can't get Julian Alvarez, get me Isak. I think the club are very interested in Isak. If I'm going to be truthful here, I think the club are very interested in Isak. I think Fabrizio said we've spoken to someone in his team or something, and no one else has done that apparently. So maybe we've put feelers out there. I just feel like to spend 130 million on Isak with having to do so much more work around the team as well, especially if some of the younger squad members are going to leave our club. We need to bolster that area of the pitch as well. So I'm not one of the like, if you're getting rid of Tyler Morton, don't just go and give me a European version of Tyler Morton for the same money. Just keep Tyler Morton. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, I don't want us to just be buying players that are very similar to what we sold just so we can buy players. Don't make sense to me. But I just don't see Isak happening. I don't see him leaving Newcastle this summer. I think Isak goes down to the last year of his contract and then he leaves, because I just think he's going to be priced out of the market for a lot of people. And that's the way a lot of clubs do it now.
I think he's got 3 years left on his contract as well,
Yeah, why leave, man? Doesn't need leave.
No release clause. He's like,
You're saying why leave from the club's perspective or from Diaz's perspective?
Oh, Diaz can leave straight away, man.
No, he's talking about Isak.
But this is the problem, because we shouldn't, as Liverpool Football Club, the 7th richest club in the world, and absolutely mega billionaires, we shouldn't be having these conversations.
This richest stuff in the world stuff is all bollocks, yeah? Because the richest person in the world is apparently the geezer who runs Amazon, but he's nowhere near richer than the Man City owner, who's not on them same finances. So I do not listen to all this richest club bollocks. Paper money, in revenue or buildings or property is not the same as cash flow. It's nowhere near the same. So I never regard this rich.
The way we work, Mike, is we've got Edwards now, so it's cash in, cash out. So what players are we signing, and then we see how much money we've got, and then we buy players. Like that's how we got Virgil. That's how we got Ali, because we, structured a massive deal for Coutinho. So can we structure some big deals for the players that are valuable that we don't want anymore? And that's the likes of Diaz, Nunes, and then a couple of other pieces.
But the thing is that the players that we're talking about selling are players that we all say are complete dog shit every week. So why on earth would you just assume that those are valuable assets? They're not.
Because Saudi Arabia,
the way that fans look at players is not the way that general managers and sporting directors and clubs look at players. Prime example, Marcus Rashford. Prime example. When Marcus Rashford says he wants to leave Man United, one of the best clubs currently in England, the one that actually have a lot of ambition and want to win and etc., Aston Villa coming for him. It's not like he's being sent out on loan to like Leicester or something. He's going to a club currently in the Champions League. So sometimes the way that, Hussam and Jamie Phillips don't rate Luis Diaz. Agreed. But that doesn't mean that the Barcelona sporting director doesn't rate him.
Exactly. Same with Darwin, to be fair.
Same with Darwin, by the way. Same thing.
Deco loves Diaz. Deco waxes lyrical over Diaz. If they've got money, they'll definitely spend it on Diaz. But I just think Saudi Arabia, those two players will absolutely ball it out there. And you can tell that Nunes was sulking when he didn't get that move, because he suddenly stopped running anymore. And Slop said, I don't mind you missing goals and that, because we're used to it. But if you don't run in games anymore.
Did he say? Hang on. Did he say we're used to it? Because that's mad.
Well, that's us.
Can I just ask everyone a question? Maybe just around the panel. What do you guys see us doing in the summer then? So I can understand where you guys' mind and heads at. What do we do in the summer then? Sell wise and buying players.
For buying wise, I think we buy a striker, a left back, and a left winger.
Can I press you for names? Who do you think will get in?
I think Kirkez is very close to being done. I just got this weird feeling on it. I don't know the players, man. I really don't. I just think they're the positions we all look for. As again, I'll say, they could be players, as I said, not linked with us, but are going to be very good footballers that are going to shock us. It might be a shock transfer, like a player that weren't linked with us, but is exceptional.
Remember that Senegalese left back we were linked with in January? You guys remember the news that came out of Saudi? I think he plays in the Russian league or something.
Was it Malik?
Something like that.
He wasn't a left back, was he? He was a right back, was he, or left back?
No, he was a left back.
And he plays all the way up, doesn't he? up the wing as well. He can play,
Play
right
wing.
down there.
Yeah, he can
Yeah, I
play
forgot
wing.
his name.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat will remind us of his name, but we were linked to like
Doesn't he play for a team in the Champions League? Like that was in the Champions League.
either that or Europa. I forgot, but there was the
Yeah.
Senegalese left back that we were kind of linked with. Point is,
Do you know who
here's
else
the
was
thing,
linked with
Endz.
him?
This is
You know
what
who
I
else was linked with
objectively
him?
think happens. This is what
Brighton.
objectively think happens. First of all, we must consider that the scenario with Newcastle in the Champions League and them out of it is two different scenarios. We must acknowledge this because this is, once again, this is not something that anyone could lose their minds over. This is reality. If Newcastle get Champions League, kiss signing Isak goodbye. It's done. Then whether we make money in sales or not. Now, if Newcastle don't make the Champions League, I think Isak, you go out on a high, you win a trophy at the club for the first time in 70 years, Newcastle legend, etc. And you're going to make your club, 120 M's? Newcastle, funnily enough, they like a couple of our players. They like Elliott, and they like Kwanzaa, and they like Gomez, and they like... You could use that as part of negotiation. Like, I know this is not NBA. It's not like, player plus draft picks, but you could go like, okay, we're going to send Gomez your way and certain amount of money for Isak, blah, blah, blah. Now, if Newcastle if they do make Champions League, I think we pivot to a different type of striker. I have a really bad feeling. I have a bad feeling that I'm going to listen to Endz for the next 2 years, say the same stuff he said about Nunes, but for a certain Slovenian with a left foot, because it just makes sense for us to sign Sesko, even though we just watched Sesko from Uruguay. We're now going to watch Sesko from Slovenia. And if that doesn't happen, like Ekitike is realistic, Delap is realistic. I do see a world where we sign Delap. Osimhen is also realistic because his price is very low currently. I know people say wages, and that's fair and objective. However, if you're getting a world-class striker for like 50
incredible
that
player.
is actually like, even in Edwards' mind, that's still good business. 50 million.
It also makes a lot of sense as well because we did go big on trying to get Kvaratskhelia back.
Yeah. And then Callum Sanderson did a transfer window, and it was
yeah, I know. I was on it as well, unfortunately. I might well have jinxed that as well.
But I'm with you on that one, Sam, though. If it's not Isak, then I'd go Osimhen. And then if we can't, then you're going to have to go and get the next up-and-coming striker. I think that's what's going to happen.
And I'm going to break all of your hearts. If Diaz leaves, do you know who Liverpool really like? Nico Williams. Bilbao.
I don't mind Nico.
I know you don't, but the guy next to me does. So.
I think if Isak doesn't come and maybe like a Osimhen type doesn't come, I don't think we get. I don't think we're gonna get.
You can get the Osimhen stuff. That ain't happening, guys.
We ain't
getting someone. We ain't going to buy someone who's already got a contract on 250 grand a week. It ain't happening.
I think we can sign him.
So why can't we give him 250?
How much are we going to pay Isak though?
Isak's going to be that much.
Going to be on high wages.
How much is Isak on now? 150.
But he's going to want big wages. Man.
Yeah, but Jamie, you're talking about the way Liverpool operate. Do we pay more wages over a 3-4 year period or pay more transfer money?
There's a reason we want all three players to leave outside their contract is so we can get the wage bill down. So then we can go and buy 5 players in the summer that will be less than the wages them 3 guys are on, and you can develop them for the next 5 years. That is exactly why.
Jamie has got
that's not how you win though.
I don't give a shit, Mike, but that's what's going to happen.
I don't
it's
really
like,
care.
I agree with you, Mike. It's not how you win, but what they will do, they will go, right, we'll take a dip next season, but in the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to be back to that level again. That's why Liverpool go like that so much. It's because that's the way we do business.
I don't think that.
Show me a difference.
I don't think that.
1 year we went extreme. We got Virgil and all that in, and Allison, and we got all them in a 12-month window, right? Then what did we do after that? Who did we buy after that? What was the window?
Yeah, but this might be the
Elliott and Allison.
This year is though.
Right. What was the window after that? Simicast, Jota, and Simicast. We all went. That's a quality window.
Thiago Alcantara.
What was the window after that?
Konate.
So we missed players out. So we're down again. Then the window after that, we apparently didn't want a midfielder. Then we realised that the 3 midfielders we got can't run no more. We had to sell them all. Thank you to Saudi. They bought 2 of them. And we managed to get players in. What happened to the window after that?
Chiesa.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, So
Well, Jamie,
hopefully
this
this
might-
window,
Yeah, but I'm giving you
This might be
sales.
that
Jamie,
window,
the
right?
difference is I'm giving you sales, and I'm being objective with it.
Yeah.
Did we not get offered 70 for Nunes in January? It just happened. Like it's not.
let's
It's
hope they come
reality.
back
Yeah, we
in
did.
though. Fingers crossed. Because I've
Yeah,
got a
but
feeling
they will come back in because here's the thing: me and you don't rate these players, but the sporting directors of other clubs do. This is the
Yeah.
thing that we must keep in mind. Perfect example: Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona was looked at as rubbish and surplus to requirements. And anytime you spoke to anyone, it's like Dembele, he's always injured. He's shit anyway. PSG went and got him. Another perfect example: Sadio Mane. Did we rate Mane in the last 6 months of the last year and 6 months of his Liverpool career? We all knew as Liverpool fans, he was nowhere near what Mane was 3 years before that. Who came in for him? Bayern Munich. Directly, 40 M's. So sometimes we need to take ourselves out of the Liverpool bubble and think as a sporting director. Uruguay's number 9, still young, loads of potential, and he has had one season at Liverpool where he had at least acceptable numbers. So that drives up his price tag. Luis Diaz, Colombian captain, left winger. His numbers this season are actually better than last season. And Premier League winner and experience in the Champions League. Those are things that clubs look at.
Yeah.
So that can I give you the perfect example that has nothing to do with our football club, Jamie? And this might make you think more my way, even though I understand what you're saying with FSG because I'm the same. There's a reason why I'm FSG out. But can I give you the perfect example of sporting directors and fans rating a football player completely differently? Napoli were willing to pay 60 million for Garnacho in January. If you bring a United fan on this team right now, tell them, would you sell Garnacho for a packet of chips? They would all say yes.
I'm just hoping they come back. That's all, Sam. If they come back, it's cool, man.
We've got the Club World Cup coming up as well, so they do want to buy players, and they will have. Well, they've always got money, so
you can borrow 6 players apparently for that competition. You heard about that rule?
It's madness. They've just given them like carte blanche.
So
maybe we can offload loads of our players to them.
Because Ronaldo's looking to go to a team in that competition so he can play in it, ain't he?
His team didn't qualify, did it?
You can borrow 6 players. That
maybe they won't get Nunes then.
That competition was just made for Real Madrid and Barcelona because they can't compete with English teams financially. That's all it's made for.
I just think I hear everything you're saying, Jamie. I just think the summer you described with VVD and Allison, I think this could easily be that sort of summer for us. Like, we haven't been spending. The sales look like they're going to come in. We all understand the FSG model, but that's what we're basing the expectations on, right? Two or three straight windows of money saved, a Premier League title, deep in the Champions League, sales, everything's there for their model to spend. So I think most of us, maybe not you, but I would be very surprised if we weren't buying a decent number of players this summer.
Do you know the other thing?
Just not the ones we want.
Do you know the other thing as well, which we're kind of missing the point on, is why would we be spending money on players over the age of 23 when that isn't Edward's model? Never has been. Like, it's always 23, 24. Like, doesn't really go above that. Like, to get them in, like, just before they're about to hit their peak.
But then we
We're looking at players that are like
25.
We get money in that 25.
Yeah, most of the players are above that age.
Virgil wasn't 22 when we got him.
No, we weren't.
Neither was Fabinho.
Well, we could have got Virgil the year. We should have got Virgil the year before.
We did.
But we had to wait a year.
Do we all acknowledge that if we don't sell Coutinho for 140, we don't sign both, right?
Yeah.
Well, we to be fair, we were going by Virgil in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
Before the Coutinho thing even happened.
So I'm saying both. So it wouldn't be both of them.
I don't know.
It wouldn't happen. I know, guys. Remember before we sold Coutinho, the goalkeeper that we were linked to getting was Jack Butland. You guys recall this?
No, that was on the list, but Alisson was on the list as well. I think it made it easier.
We wouldn't have paid 65 without selling Coutinho.
No, but I think it made it easier for us to do that deal than it would.
Yeah,
I think the 140 now is Diaz and Nunez's prices together. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think we'd have bought Virgil no matter what, but Alisson maybe not.
Yeah, Virgil, agreed. It's just Alisson. Because we did want Jack Butland.
Well, the whole thing, if you read what
I think Jack Butland was all right, but he wasn't.
The old Liverpool assistant said, didn't he say last summer, like in the summer, that Liverpool were going after Fekir, and then they heard Alisson was available. The Fekir transfer didn't happen. They just went and bought Alisson, didn't they? So even if we bought Fekir, we might not have bought Alisson. So yeah,
I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not denying it.
He was on the list of the goalkeepers who was going to go after. Jack Butland was on the list, but so was Alisson. But
Yeah,
with
Ali
the
was always
Coutinho
number
money,
one.
he just made it. He just made it easy. You
Easy.
can't say
Got wanted Trap though. Ends.
what's that.
Got wanted Kevin Trapp.
But Trapp was good though. To be fair,
He was decent,
He
like.
was good in that time. But Alisson
So,
obviously is mad.
I don't understand. Like, if you want to say that the summer's not going to be big financially, I get that. But if the reason why Edwards left the club is true, then that would lead you to assume that he wants to players in, players out more often, which would then lead you to assume that this summer, players in, players out. Like, again, my stance very firm. However many players leave is however many players come in. Whether it's coming back on loan or whether it's purchasing financially, we're not going to put ourselves into a deficit. So if he wants, let's just use a prime example here. Like Luis Diaz. Only way I see him leaving the club is if he asks to leave, because him and Gakpo rotate that position, right?
Yeah.
Mo Salah. Do I really genuinely see us buying a backup right winger? Probably not. Darwin Núñez has been offered, is what it is. Left back. Tsimikas never is rotating into the squad when he's fit. So that would lead me to assume he's going to go regardless of whether or not he's asking to leave. Same thing with Harvey Elliott. Same thing with Wataru Endo. Endo is his job now has become, you are the 5-minute insurance policy. Get out there and don't let the ball get into my final third. So if we look at the way that Arne Slot has operated this season, you would assume that Michael Edwards knows, okay, these are the players you don't rate. These are the players that you rate. These players need to go. These players need to come in. Now, I think where everyone goes haywire is when we start putting dollar signs next to those players. Like, whether it's 150 million or it's 300 million or it's 100 million, I don't think that matters. Like, what matters is players out, players in. Get an improvement on who's coming in versus who's going out. I think that we can easily improve on Endo. I think that we can easily improve on Tsimikas. I think that we can easily improve on Harvey Elliott. There's other players that I wish that we could improve on, but I don't see leaving. I think that the dollar signs is when everything goes haywire. But the way that Edwards operates is he wants transfers every summer. He wants ins and outs. That's why he left. If he left for that reason, I don't see him coming back and just reverting to type and basically saying, you know what, this is how you guys have operated for 4 seasons. I don't want to buy anybody. Let's run it back. Same 4 midfielders, same 4 attackers, same defenders.
Can I just bring you an example, Mike, of like a logical scenario this summer? Put yourself genuinely in Harvey Elliott's shoes. You believe in your talent. You believe in the fact that, you're obviously a player that is on the rise. You have potential. You've learned of some of the best players. If Arne Slot says all you're going to be is a Salah backup, you're not going to start in the 10, you're never going to get a chance. You love Liverpool, and you've said this publicly, and you'd love to stay. But if you're not in the manager's plans, what are you supposed to do? Just sit up here and just play Carabao Cup games? So if we let it be known that we want to get rid of Harvey Elliott, it's not unfair for me to say 40 million Newcastle, 40 million Fulham, whichever that's
perfectly fine.
Before you answer that, Mike, including your minutes, right? I'm just looking now. You've only played 147 minutes as well.
Who?
Elliott.
It's wild.
11 matches. That's it. 11 matches this season. That's all.
But to me, all that says is, okay, again, looking at Arne Slot, the guy's very analytical. The guy's very cold emotionally, right? He's cut and dry. It's X or Y. That's it. There's no room for all of this emotional interpretation. If he doesn't rate the profile of Harvey Elliott, he's not going to utilize the profile of Harvey Elliott. If he doesn't rate the profile of Wataru Endo, he's not going to use that profile unless it's absolutely necessary. Same thing with Chiesa. He only played Chiesa because the Champions League game was literally meaningless and he wanted to rest some legs. Or we were down 2-1 in a cup final. I'm throwing all 8 attackers. Every defender come off the pitch. anyone who has any experience playing in the
Chiesa
over
has
three.
played like 3 Premier League games. That's
It's
it.
crazy. It's crazy.
So it's just like Slot has very clearly showed these are the areas where I have deficiencies in because I'm not rotating and I'm not using them, which tells Michael Edwards, okay, regardless of what I want, what you want, what anyone else wants, the fact is X, Y, and Z is not used. I need a new X, Y, and Z. Everything after that, it is what it is. One of those obviously is the 9 because Darwin Núñez will be leaving. One of those obviously is the left back, but it's just I think that sometimes we get too caught up in the dollar signs and we don't just look at like the logistics of the situation. That these things have to get done, and the guy who wanted to get these things done was Edwards, and now he's back. So what tells me that something has changed in Michael Edwards' philosophy over the last 4 years while he hasn't been at the club?
Do we need to read between the lines then? And if you're saying that like Slot obviously doesn't make these players, then Edwards is going to do what Slot said, and he's going to get rid of them because they're just not going to play. So what's the point? And to be honest, the start of the season, there was a lot of players that moved that we didn't think were going to move, like who played pre-season, didn't look too bad, but clearly weren't in the plans. So when Slot's talking about Cunha and Slot's talking about Isak and he's raving about Kerkez and he's talking about these players like in press conferences and that, is that him telling Edwards, yeah, we've been talking about him behind the scenes. They're the guys I want.
No.
Don't think about the dollar signs. Just go and get them.
Why would he do that on a public stage? Like whatever they're discussing backstage.
Every coach does it. Every coach does it.
Slot doesn't really care, does he? He says it how it is. Like some of the stuff he's come out with is class.
Klopp used to be
mentioning Edwards though, but it's Richard Hughes, isn't it? That's the guy that would be speaking.
Yeah, Richard Hughes.
Yeah, he said that in his last press conference that him and Richard always talking about the summer plan. So I don't know what.
If he's telling us
I read between the lines for a different reason, and I'll say this just before we get to the football. Look, I read between the lines for who he plays, who he doesn't play, who he gives a chance to, who he only plays in dead rubber games, who he doesn't believe in at all. Chiesa's prime example. It would not shock me whatsoever if Chiesa left this summer. It's zero shocks. Like genuinely zero shocks.
I mean, he's our second best 9. So it's crazy to
yes, but you have to go. I mean, I think all of us would keep Elliott. All of us would give him a chance at the 10. But if you ain't gonna get played by the manager, then it is what it is. Anyway, let me just do these super chats before we move on to talk about Everton and Fulham. Big up to everyone locked in. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Exactly what Endz said. Guys, we have almost 600 people in the building. We ain't even at 200 likes yet. You guys can't complain about our strikers and then not have conversion rate yourself. So please do hit the like button. Do subscribe. Big up to Nags Games. Big up to you, brother. He says, Osimhen was one greedy agent. Chelsea's bullshit wage structure away from being on 20-ish league goals and making Chelsea on lock for top 4, even second place. That's why, despite the fact that his wages are high, the fact that he only costs £50 million, we might find that really lucrative. That's the thing. Because a transfer is transfer like budget in terms of how much you actually pay for a player, and then you take his wages into consideration along with agent fees and all that other shit. But if the guy only costs 50 M's...
And they really like Chiesa. His team like Chiesa.
Yeah, Napoli. But Napoli is never going to make a direct transfer to Juve.
Oh my god! So
never going to happen.
Ekatike is only on 56 grand a week. He's your new striker.
I know. I acknowledge that. I know that Ekatike is a possibility. 100% is a possibility.
There's your new striker, man.
But it's very cheap though, Osimhen, price tag wise.
Yeah.
Is our net spend going to be 0? I wouldn't say it's going to be 0, but there is a lot of sales this summer. There is a lot of sales this summer, I'll be honest with you. So you have to keep that in mind. There is many players leaving. There is many players leaving. So yeah. Big up, doubles in the chat for my guy Gagandeep for dropping in the 20-piece. Big up to you, Gagandeep. Thank you so much. He says, this is why I don't understand why more people aren't FSG out. Evidence has shown the way we operate. We go through cycles, get to the pinnacle, not strengthen at the top, stagnate and go again. No aim to dominate an era. I do think this time, though, it's completely different. And the reason why it's completely different is the guy that Mike wanted out is no longer here. Because that That guy was
Always
a
attacking me,
shield.
man. Always
That
attacking
guy
me.
was a shield between the FSG outers, if you would like, and the people who didn't like the way that we operate and the football club. Can I give you a prime example right now, Gagandeep? Jamie Carragher, FSG shill, puts out an article saying we must sign 6 players. It's like that's the guy that probably that's literally the guy that protects the club on every Sky interview, every overlap, everything. Even he's saying we must sign players now.
6.
Yeah, that's what Carragher
Well,
said.
Even Virgil was.
By the way, that's not even
even
crazy. Right back,
widely,
left back,
it's not
centre back,
crazy.
midfielder.
Oh,
full
as if
forward.
one leave, if Virgil and Trent and all that leave as well, is it?
No, not
even,
Virgil.
no.
Even if they don't leave.
Virgil and
No,
Mo
I'm
have
telling
to
you,
stay.
I'm telling you right now, Virgil, Trent, and Mo all stay. We're buying 3 players maximum.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
you're probably
fine.
right there.
That's fine
That's
if
fine.
they stay. 3 players is fine.
2 forwards, left back, midfielder.
Yeah, that's it.
I can work with that.
No, we still need more, but I'm not going to die on
I
this
think
hill.
we're fine
I
with
can work
that.
with that.
I think you guys.
We're not
give
being
us too much
greedy, are
credit.
we?
I'm not being
now,
greedy. I'm not being greedy,
Being
bro.
greedy now, Mike. If they stay, bro, free's all right, man. We're good.
That's all right, man. 3's all right.
Yeah.
If they all
I'm-
stay, I'll
I'm just
probably
gonna-
take 2,
you know
Mike.
what?
To be fair,
I'm gonna plead the 5th for the sake of time.
Mr. Wonderful says Hussam is on Jordanian hash. Jamie is right. We'll have max 3 players leaving permanently, kids on loan, and we're gonna buy 3 players. Let's get real. But once again, I'm not doing Jamie conspiracy o'clock, and I'm not doing Hussam ITK o'clock. I'm going based off of what the journalists have said. Guys, every 2 months there's an article linking Diaz to Barcelona. Nunes we know is gone. Simicas we know is gone. Elliot is not even being played by the guy. Chiesa is not being played by the guy. There are links suggesting that Jota will leave Liverpool Football Club. Kwanzaa and Gomez, one of them wants to leave. Kelleher, Chelsea link. I'm not making shit up. Did we not reject like 20 million from Bournemouth for Ben Doak in January? Did that
And
not
Morton as
happen?
well. And Morton.
Tyler Morton, we rejected 10 million. I'm not making shit up, bro. It's what's happening.
we won't reject that again.
No, trust me, man.
I don't think we accepted any January transfers because they just wanted the team to get over the line.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Do we trade Cody Gakpo if we get Kane in return? Hell no. Because
You
Kane
want-
is too old to trade
What
Gakpo
do you
for right now.
Bayern Munich would never take that. What are you talking about?
I don't know. They might do, to be fair.
They might.
Mike,
might.
don't be surprised if they bid for Cody, mate. Honestly, don't be
Don't
surprised.
get Jamie triggered again.
No,
please.
no. I'm not. Did I say bid? No.
I'm not saying
He
we'll
just
take
said
it, but
he just said a trade. He just said a swap deal. Kane for Cody Gakpo. Are you on
Yeah.
crack? No one in the world is swap dealing Harry Kane for Cody Gakpo.
Not at his
I feel
age.
like.
No,
3 years
it's
ago, did that.
It's probably better on the Bayern Munich side than it is on the Liverpool side, to be fair.
Age-wise, definitely.
Why would you? I would never accept that ever.
No.
Crazy how FSG has made all our fan base all accountants. Arjan, I always say this. When you
Every
sign up
year.
to become a Liverpool fan, you must have an accountancy degree on the
You got-
side, or
you-
you just
you
can't
got-
be a fan.
You got to go to college for a year and get a degree.
Yeah, you just have to be an accountant.
No.
You know,
No. All,
You
all
have to
need
read all the Deloitte reports. You get me? Like,
but you have to make sure that you have
how
your
much
calculator
revenue?
present.
Oh, how much profit did
yeah,
we make?
yeah.
How
And the
much
only
money
way to
did we
do
make in
that
Champions League group
is with the
stages? Oh, we're
calculator,
going to win the
Hussam.
league. How much money do we get from winning the league?
you have to have capology in your favourites bar.
Apology, you know. Yeah.
All you need is Chat GPT and a calculator. That's it.
Yes. Calculator ready, on deck. Let's go. And the light bulb, in case Arteta's watching.
Man called you Mike later, you know.
Calculator, yeah. That's his new name. That's his new name. Think City do 400 million and Arsenal 300 million this summer. City, I can see that happening 100%. Arsenal, I don't see it happening.
So City's
think
already
Arsenal's
spent 200 mil already in the January.
Yeah,
They're
it's
gonna
like
spend
150 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
It-
I think they're
it's-
going to spend another 150 probably.
You
This-
can't spend 600 million in 12 months.
No, I think they spend 300 overall, Jan and May.
I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, I'm talking to him. Mike,
I don't
Yeah, I
think.
think it's
Ci-
too
I
much.
don't think City will be back like everyone thinks next season either.
I agree. I agree.
I think
Jamie,
a lot-
unfortunately, they have Arab owners, which means
Yeah, I know,
when Kevin
but
De
I
Bruyne
think-
leaves, they're going to go
I
get
think-
Florian Wirtz.
I don't think they get Florian Wirtz.
I think he
they
goes
will.
to Madrid.
Yeah, I see the reports of Fabrizio saying that's the guy that they really want, bro. That pissed me off.
Yeah.
They want him and Larson, don't they, as a duo? Like, that's it.
They've
Hey.
got a lot of quality in their team that's getting older and leaving.
Hey,
So
Jamie.
anyone they buy is not going to be as good. So they will
Jamie,
get better
maybe-
eventually, but not straight away.
Maybe Leverkusen just send them on loan to City.
On
Big
loan,
up to
you know.
Tom who says
If any team can do it, I bet City can. Any team can do it.
Marquez wasn't in SA all the under 20 competition for nothing. Who's this about?
Marcus wasn't in SA and all.
Isn't that our technical director, the one Marquez? I forget what his first name is. Marquez.
Yeah, Marquez is our. Isn't he the guy who's in charge of trying to find a second club?
That's going well.
Pablo
No.
Marquez or whatever his name
SA,
is.
what's SA? South Africa.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Or South America.
Yeah, I think South America.
Tom, can you elaborate on this one just in a regular
I
minute,
might
so
be
you don't have
South
to know.
America, the under-21s in South America.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Bro, these guys in South America are embarrassing. I already told people the stories that have happened like 2 years before they actually got released, bro. Like I told them about the Caicedo thing. We could have signed him from Independiente del Valle for 2 million, bro. We could have had Moises Caicedo for 2 million. River Plate offered Liverpool Football Club Enzo and Julian Alvarez for 50 million. We said no.
We didn't believe in it then, bro. We didn't believe in it.
Just
Listen,
saying.
hindsight's 2020.
Well, you say hindsight is 2020. Mike, every club almost that's successful is signing players straight out of South America. Real Madrid,
Yeah,
Manchester
should be.
City, everyone. Why are we the one club that's just not doing it at all?
I'm more annoyed with.
Can I
with
just
the
get
fact
like?
that-
Can I give you an example? Trent leaves. Why don't we just go sign Wesley from Flamengo? Just to like get.
I mean, listen, if you want
Just put ourselves in the fucking market, you know.
if you want to make the
Trent's
argument,
not leaving. Trent's not leaving.
if you want to make the argument that our
Jamie
farm
conspiracy.
system
No,
needs
it's
to be better, like I'm in full agreement. Like I feel like we should be going out there and once a year buying one of these kids for 5-10 million, just seeing
I agree.
where
Do
it
you know
goes.
why we don't? Do
Because-
you know why we don't, Mike? Do you know why we don't?
Because we're pussies.
No, because the fans, the fans of this football club go mad when you go, "Who's this guy we're buying for 3 million?" Though, when they're not playing any football.
Nah, not right now, Jamie. Everyone seems to know all of these guys, bro. To be fair.
Yeah, they say they do. They don't.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue with us.
No
I
one's
think
watching Brazil every week. You know the club teams. You know what I mean?
Early in the morning, bro. Watching
I don't
Brazil.
need to know who he is. In fact, I would prefer if I don't know who he is, and then
The
he
reason
shows
why
me who
City
he is.
signed Vitor Reis is I was speaking to one of the scouts like a year and a half ago, and he told me that City do have like the most amount of scouts in the entire South American continent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like
they do,
City have the, I think he told me City have more scouts in Brazil alone than Liverpool have in the whole South America.
Yeah, they probably got a tangle Manchester out there now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. That's
I
how
don't
they
think
found
we've
out.
got-
That's how they
I don't think
signed
we've
that
got as many as
Vitor Reis
Chelsea.
guy.
I mean, listen. To be honest with you, if like, what's crazy to me is that the most FSG thing to do in the history of FSG would be to do that. Would be
Yes.
to hire
Yes.
to hire 8 million scouts, put 1 million of them in the top 8 biggest countries of football, and just literally vacuum every single bit of potential, and then play them, sell for profit, or oh my god, this kid's an absolute star. That would
No,
be the most FSG.
No, do you know what we'd do? We'll send scouts to scout the scouts in South America to buy the scouts.
I'm fine with that too. If we want to cheat and steal scouting reports and then pay a fine again, I'm happy to do that as
Do
well.
you remember when?
To be fair, the fine was only 1 million, so it's not that deep.
Do you remember when we found out that we had scouts watching Salzburg and we'll go buy an attacker from Salzburg? We all thought it was Haaland and it was Minamino.
Minamino, yeah.
I mean, that's
No,
where we
we
really
fucked
need to
that one
improve.
Well,
All
that was
because
actually-
Jordan Henderson came in after the game and said Minamino was world class in that game.
that was actually Klopp that wanted Minamino.
And we went for him. It's
Klopp,
hilarious.
So
Klopp
Min-
used to really
Minamino-
like buying players
Minamino
that
was
played well
Darwin
against
Nunes
us.
1.0. I'm just saying, Minamino was the first version of Darwin Nunes.
Big up to Ruiz. Gracias, amigo. He says Cunha, Delap, Sharky, Karkaz, Hato. Not gonna happen. Might happen. 50-50.
Cunha, Delap, Shirky, Kirk.
Cunha is not gonna happen because the club don't like Cunha, you guys. The club do this whole no dickhead policy, and they just
No,
love
they
this
don't,
nice
dickhead.
guy thing. And Cunha is looked at as a player with an attitude
Although
problem,
we-
so we're
we have
not
got-
gonna sign him.
We have got Robbo, who's the biggest dickhead.
That's
I'm
fair.
all-
Yeah, but
I'm all
he
right.
loves the club.
I'm all right with 3 of those. Just stick a stick a what's the name there, Ekatike or a Osimhen or a Isak. But
I think Shirkey's
Just throw an extra 200 million on top of it.
They're all fine.
Who's the Premier League team to watch out for this window? Us, definitely.
Hmm.
We're the team that most rivals anywhere reporting the most like information on and stuff. Because we have been linked to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I think Arsenal are on to watch as well with their new sporting director.
No, but if Arsenal sign Jota, that's it. Like, what the fuck else they're gonna sign?
Also,
I think they're gonna go big.
If we win
Unless Saliba leaves.
when we win the title, not if, when we win the title, I think a lot of the clubs would be worried about what we're gonna do.
Hang on, say again.
Say it again.
When I nearly said if,
Yeah,
why would I say
when.
if? When we do it. When we
Yes.
when
Why do you
we-
say if, you bozo?
Because
No,
we're so
no.
used to saying if. That's what.
All year long we've been saying if. Hey, after Wednesday it's done, mate.
No, we can just say it. We can be brazen.
Stupid.
I said the 27th for me. The 27th of this month is when we'll be
Is
champions.
that
Isn't
party night? Is that party?
Can I tell you something amazing about my life? 27th April is my dad's birthday. 5th of March is my mom's birthday. 20th May is my birthday. On my birthday, 20th May 1995, it's the last time Everton won a trophy in our lifetime. 5th of March, my mother's birthday, is the day we beat Man United 7-0. And if we lift that Premier League title on 27th April, when I was born, I was meant to be a Liverpool fan at this point. Like, it's just written in the stars. It's way too many coincidences. It's way too many.
Let's see, man. 27th, bro. When we get there, we'll see.
Let's go. I'm excited. Which 5 big names come to the Prem this summer? Big name. The only big, like, actual big name that I think might come to the Premier League this summer is probably Wirtz and maybe one of Kamavinga Chouameni, possibly.
Is Zubimendi considered a big name? Is Zubi considered a big name now?
Nah.
He's
And Zubimendi's going Madrid. Zubimendi's
Modric as a big
replacement.
name, though. It will be pushed.
Zubimendi's Modric replacement, literally like for like. It's the same type of player.
I think Williams might end up in the Premier League. He's
Yeah, but the reason why I didn't say Jokeras or Williams because I
He's a
don't
big
look at them as big name. Yeah.
Osimhen,
Like they're on the rise
Maybe
name.
Osimhen, yeah. Maybe Osimhen.
Osimhen.
Osimhen, yep. That's a third one. Mastantao, Argentina number 10, Italian passport. Yes. I've heard about him. I heard about us wanting Buonanotte as well, like 3 years ago.
This kid is
We
cold.
got offered him, by the way. We got offered him before he went to Brighton.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
the
said
issue I've got as well is we get offered a lot of the players that go to Brighton before they
we
go
just
to
say,
Brighton.
When you look at like the reports as well, they all say they're like, they like Liverpool. But I'm like that. Why don't we never get them then? It's just like not interesting.
I think we have a problem executing in the transfer window. But anyway, let's put transfers to the side. Let's talk football pitch a little bit. Big up to all of you guys. I don't want to keep the guys for too long. Whatever, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Liverpool Fulham, our next game. Let's talk about Liverpool Fulham while considering the Everton game, if you would like. So, all the stuff on the pitch together. And before Jamie loses any more brain cells or hair follicles, I'm going to let him start off this section. Big up to Tampoline who says, hit the like button, please, people, and subscribe to the guest channels. Yes, all these guys' channels in the description. I just added Kmack to the list as well, so go give them all a subscribe, you guys. Endz, football with Endz. Did you rename it again?
No, I had to change it because it takes like 15 days to do it. So I was just like, I'll just leave it and then I'll change it at the end of the season.
Yeah. So the Jerry James Show, Mike Das LFC, Liverpool Chats, Football with Endz, and the Kmack channel all in the description. Jamie, talk to me about the football pitch, brother. Everton headed into Fulham. Where are you with all this conversation?
I'm in a good place, to be fair, because we just keep getting W's in the Premier League, so it's all good. Look, the Everton game, first half weren't the greatest. I think we can all agree with that. Although Everton didn't do anything that bad, for some reason, I know Alisson was out with concussion, but I don't know if they tested Virgil and Konate before the game either, because because the two chances Everton had in that first half were just simple long balls over the top. Yeah, and any other day of the week, Virgil and Konate just head them all away, no problem, just head them all away. Today,
the Beto one on Virgil was the one that pissed me off the most.
Yeah, it was weird. But then the second half, look, we had complete control in the second half. Everton didn't do anything. They couldn't get out. They couldn't get through our midfield. They couldn't do anything. They didn't even have a shot. So if I see that sort of control and discipline that we had in the second half against Everton away to Fulham, we get the 3 points quite comfortably.
No, fair. I agree as well. The first half against Everton was crazy, man. Virgil and Ibu, yeah, they were doing something else. I don't know. They were trying to just give up. Maybe they're just bored. They wanted something to do. But second half, I agree. We just dominated. They did nothing at all. And it's good, man. We'll just continue our win streak or unbeaten run. Where is it? Set at 26 now and counting. So happy, man. Happy. And with Fulham, it's going to be a tough game, guys, man. Away again. For some reason, we always make it difficult. What was it? 4-3 one at a time, 3-1. I think the last season we beat them there. But we always concede a goal. Always. So fingers crossed we just win. I don't care at this moment now. Just get me the W and we'll go.
Yeah, that Everton game, they threw the kitchen sink at us, didn't they? Like, pretty much. They just went gung-go with all their groks. I hate Everton. I really do. Like, they're just a crap team they played some really shit football as well in that game. Like, seriously. Like, they had us on toast in some stages, and that guy up front, Beto, Virgil and Canate made him look like a prime Drogba for the first 45 minutes. But we got the job done in the end. But it's just about 3 points now. It's not really about how you play, like what kind of football you're playing for me. It's just get the 3 points, get it done, shut all the media up with this rubbish of it's just the league. Like, really? And
you see Michael Owen, that little bastard?
Yeah, he's a rat, isn't he? Little snake. I love the fact Virgil shut him up.
That's a real snake, Tom Little.
I love the fact that Virgil shut him up, though. Yeah, I mean, for me, Fulham away, like, they were pretty good at Arsenal. Like, did any of you watch the game? Like, they missed really big chances. So they do create. But I think we're better away from home this season. Like, I think we play better football away because home teams feel a little bit more secure and they're not doing the crazy low blocks and that's what we've always struggled against. So I think, and I also feel that Jota's probably got a point to prove now. And I think that he may start chipping in with a few goals towards the end. I know, Mike, I can see you shaking your head. Jota's number one fan, but I do think maybe Jota will probably get us over the line on that one. But yeah.
Yeah, I think what this, obviously we're going to win the league. I think it's just a matter of time, obviously. But you brought up the Michael Owen thing, and I think this league title we're winning it's highlighting. I feel like when you speak to Scousers, sometimes they talk about that bias against Liverpool, and I feel like winning this title, like I'm seeing it a lot in the media. Like I feel like it's on full display. Just some of the narratives that people are going with, and how it's such a consistent theme across so many networks. It's like, wow, like these people really hate to see.
Have you heard Ange Postecoglou's interview today? Like, where he talks about. Yeah, he basically. Well, I'll go and carry on talking. I'll put it in the chat. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, like I just feel like there's like this narrative against Liverpool, trying to discredit like any sort of success we have, and it's weird. I don't know what it is, but it's very strange. Like when we had our injury crisis last year, no one brings that up in terms of why we fell off. But this year, all the talk is about who's hurt and who's not. Like people act as if we didn't have injuries all the way through. And I think that's why we're seeing, like, there's clearly been a drop off in the team's performance, maybe the last month or so. So I think we're kind of dragging it across the line now, but the team's resilient. We're fighting through. We're just getting the results over the line, which is good. But again, it's highlighting that we can't go about this the same way next year with minimal rotation and the same lineups.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not going to work for us.
Can I ask about the rotation stuff? Because I do apologise.
Here we go.
Fatigue.
No. I know what you're gonna say now. The fatigue thing again.
No, it's nothing to do with fatigue. Nothing to do with fatigue.
God.
Right. Who do you rotate? Because all the top clubs in the world don't really rotate their centre backs. Yeah, they usually play their best centre backs.
Yes, true.
Yeah? Why are you rotating Mo Salah? Makes no sense.
Agreed.
Why would you rotate a player that's
Even
never
after
injured?
performances recently, you wouldn't rotate him.
No, why would you rotate him? It makes no
It's a little
sense.
bit unfair, Endz, but I'm gonna get it.
I'll answer that question.
I will
main-
defend when I have the mic.
The main DM in your team barely gets rotated. The main DM in everyone's team barely gets rotated. So if your main goalkeeper, your two centre backs, your main goal scorer, and your DM should at least play 90% of your games, right? Everyone else around them can be rotated. Simple as that. Everyone else around them can be rotated, but your main guys, they play. If they
but you're missing the context, and I think the best way to highlight it is that Southampton.
No context.
I also have to disagree with. Sorry, 2 seconds. I also have to disagree with Liverpool getting over the line. Like seriously, how many games have we won? We've lost one game all season in the Premier League.
Okay,
that's not
performances matter.
Over the line.
Performances matter.
Wait, Emeka was saying something about the Southampton game. I want to get what do you mean about the Southampton game?
Yeah, so the context of what Jamie's saying is accurate on the surface. Like your top center backs, goalies, attackers, DMs are going to play 90% of the games. But rotation is about contextually rotating. So I think when I brought up Southampton, there was no reason that Gravenberch needed to play 90 minutes in that game, for example, with PSG coming up the next day. Or there's a few other players that easily could have been rotated in that game to make sure that they were fresh. And that's just something that we've failed to do. We're playing players in games that, like Southampton at home, we should be winning that game, whether Gravenberch or Endo starts. Simple.
But if we'd lost that game,
that's just how I feel about it.
But if we'd lost that game,
but that's the point.
The league was open. The league was open.
That's the issue. You shouldn't be losing that game. Even if Gravenberch doesn't start, you shouldn't be losing that.
But he had to play his full strength team because he had to win that game. That was so vital.
I'm going to preface all of this by saying, to ward off all of the sensitive.
You're about to say something crazy. I can tell by your smile.
To ward off all of those sensitive sallies. Listen, we won. All that matters is that we got the result. We move forward. That's what we're in now. It's the robot stage of the season. W or L. That's it. A draw is an L. It's either a W or it's nothing. Now, I don't buy into this rotation bullshit. I think that when people look at when people watch us play and they say, "Oh, he looks tired. Oh, he looks tired." I'm like, yeah, sure. Maybe if you've played for twice a week for 6 straight weeks, 90 minutes a game, week in, week out. Okay, maybe I'll hear you. But that doesn't excuse the fact that for the majority of the game, you being tired is not why we are playing poor. Ryan Gravenberch being tired, it has nothing to do with us being incapable of getting shots on goal against Everton. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with consistently having one-on-ones with Luis Diaz and a 6'5" right back who he can't get past. It has nothing to do with Mo Salah being isolated and double-teamed and having no one to pass to. And why does he have no one to pass to? Because no one off the ball fucking moves. Literally, in that Everton game, I stopped watching the ball. I just started watching everyone who didn't have the ball when we had possession in their half. And I swear to God, you would lose your mind to think how much these players are getting paid to walk. Whether that's being instructed to walk or not being instructed to walk, the lack of energy from everyone is crazy. And if you think that we have a creativity problem, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, I still think that we can go out and we can beat Fulham, but we're looking for a cheap excuse for a complex problem. The complex problem.
Start of the season.
I'm confused.
Yes, 100%.
Hang on. I'm confused. Did you not think we played well in the second half against Everton?
I think that we played better in the second half. But the only clear-cut opportunity that we created in that whole game was Diogo Jota's chance. And that only came because a guy who wasn't supposed to be on the pitch kicked the ball in a play that could have been offside, depending on
But
who the
Mike,
referee was.
what about the two that Jota had in the box, the similar ones, but they threw themselves at it? That was a chance.
That guy, by the way, that guy, they shouldn't have been on the pitch.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that we were horrendous. I'm saying that the performance was not up to my liking. And if listen, this is just my own mentality. Like if I were Arne Slot, I would be a terrorist for success. I would be Pep Guardiola. I would be toxic about success. If I won that game 1-0, I would be berating them at the end of it because Beto hit the post. And under no circumstance should I be conceding that opportunity. And under no circumstance should I be sitting here saying I really had one clear opportunity. Which is fine. Which is fine. It's just, to me, what I see is just, it's the same problems that we had against Newcastle, against Southampton, against PSG. And the only reason why I'm angry about it is because I've now detected a pattern over consecutive games. And that is a lack of creativity, a lack of generating chances. And it's the same thing over and over. I think we can fix it. I think personnel has something to do with it.
Let me just say something, you guys. Let me just say one thing.
If this was a one-off,
I
wouldn't
hate
be upset.
the fact that I'm about to say this, but I completely agree with what Mike is saying.
Yeah, Mike's on
This
fire.
is what's happening. Listen, Mike, I hate agreeing with you, but let me just say this. There's a reason why what Mike is saying is actually there's a lot of validity to it.
Yeah.
Whole first half, we created one dangerous chance, which is Luis Diaz cross far post, Salah header, which I'm never expecting Salah to score a header against 3 7-foot monsters anyway. And the second half was just the goal. The problem that we have right now is the same exact thing we're doing in 3 games that didn't work. And what proves that this is happening, what was happening on the Everton corners? Who was defending Tarkowski? Alexis McAllister.
That worked, by the way.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. No, it does not.
Hold on.
It's no, it didn't. It's just because Everton have shit set piece takers. Had they made one
Can't
good
go
cross,
both
Hold
sides,
on.
bro.
No,
Hold on.
let's not just do results-based analysis. Objectively speaking, they had one good set piece onto Tarkowski's header. He's beating McAllister.
That's not our fault, though, isn't it?
You're not. Don't even hold on. Don't even look at set pieces.
Everton
How many
really good at
times?
set pieces, by the way, this season. Did you know that?
How many times?
They were shit that night.
How many times in that first half, and even at the very beginning of the second half, right? So the first 50 minutes of the game, how many times did Everton get on the break and fuck it up for themselves? Now they're a shit team.
That's it.
A lot.
Twice. That's it.
No.
Twice.
Jamie. I'm not.
No. I watched the game, Mike. Look, let's stop all this nonsense.
We just view it.
We stop this nonsense.
One mic,
we played against an extremely low block Everton side. Yeah, if we only created one chance against a team that played an extreme high line, I'd be with all of you guys. Yeah, we played against an Everton side who wanted to ruin the party, who wanted to spoil the party and ruin Liverpool's title hopes. They came to get a 0-0. They sat it was extremely low. Yeah, so what Liverpool did, Slot decided to play really high up the pitch to try and win the ball and keep the ball in the opposition area, trusting his 2 centre backs that do it every single week, just header long balls away. Right. The only 2 chances they had in the whole game came from just total long balls up the pitch. They never played through our team. No one played through our midfield. No one got into the wide areas. No fullbacks were overlapping. It was 2 long balls up the pitch that Virgil and Konate both messed up. Right? So they're individual errors. Simple as that. Then it was one of them games. It was just a 1-0 game. And then we got the goal and Everton never looked like scoring. And we got the 3 points. It's a good game. It's well played. It's another W. Yes, Europe weren't great and the cup final weren't great. But if you look at all our results in the Premier League, the W's. I don't give a shit about performances right now. It's about results. It's about getting over the line. You do your patterns at play at the beginning of the season, your system, your formation, your players. That's all at the beginning. Results are at the end. People are looking far too into it. They're talking about, next season we might play shit because we're playing shit right now. Yeah, who cares? It's this season. We're about to win a Premier League title. People look far too much into this shit. They really do. Get a grip.
Okay, so Everton are playing in a low block. Wait.
One more thing.
You didn't really respond to anything we said. We agree. Kmack, 1 second. We agree that Van Dijk and Konate made 2 individual errors, which led to Everton chances. We are in agreement there. I don't think Everton did anything going forward. My problem is we did nothing going forward as well. That's the problem that I have. The issue is the following, Jamie. You just said Everton set up in a low block. I agree with you. They set up in a low block, 3 7-foot centre backs. So why were we crossing the ball into Diogo Jota the whole time?
Because you've got to play in a way that will try and get past their low block.
Do you think we played in a way efficient to break down a low block?
No,
Yes.
We stopped
How-
crossing it in the second
hold on,
half.
hold on.
Yes,
How
we
how
in the second
how
half,
do
by
you
the
break
way.
down a low block? Hold on. How do you break it down? You move the ball quickly.
Ball on the
You
floor.
move. No, yeah,
Ball on
you
the
move
floor.
on the floor and you move it quickly. Now, what's the only way to move
And that's
to
the
move
way
the
that
ball
scored
on the
the goal.
floor
That's how we
and
scored.
quickly? Is it if everyone is rotating? And what's the
Did we
one
lose?
time?
Did
What's
we
the
lose? Or
okay?
Barry, did we lose that
You're,
game?
you're allowed to be
Fucking-
critical over
What
wins.
is
You're allowed
going
to be
on?
critical.
Did
You're
we
allowed to
break
be
down the
critical
low
about the way
block,
that we
Mike?
perform.
Mike, did we break down the
Yes.
low block?
No.
One time. One time,
And
yes.
yeah, and does it only take one time to break down the low block?
Well, okay, so I'm going to
That
argue
doesn't
that
mean we
didn't.
performed well going forward.
It
Hold on,
doesn't
hold
mean
on,
we
hold on.
performed well, but you've got to go. What
Yeah,
the
but that's Mike's
opposition are
point.
doing.
But
Yes.
wait,
So
we
played
didn't even
well
break
against
down the low
opposition.
block. We didn't break down the low
How did
block.
we
The goal came from a transition play. I'm trying to explain it to you, but you're not listening.
How do you break
How-
down a low block if you don't win a game of football, Mike?
Allow me to
No,
explain.
don't
Let
allow
him
me all this
explain.
bullshit.
100%.
How did we win? How did we win without breaking down
We
a low
won.
block?
We
Because
won.
What I saw was
We
getting the
won
ball
from a
to
goal
Jota,
scored in
playing the ball
transition. That's how
quickly.
we won. We did
Playing
not
the
win
ball-
off of sustained possession.
So we
We
beat
scored
a
a
team
goal
in a
off
low
of a
block.
quick transition. That's
So
not a
we
low
beat
block.
a team in a low block because when Jota scored, all their defenders were in the box. So we
Three
beat the
defenders were in
team
the
a low
box.
block. Yeah,
Three
all their
defenders were in the
defenders. Yeah, all their
They're-
defenders. Fucking hell!
They were not in a low block when we scored. It-
Oh
like,
my
they-
god! I give up. I
like,
give up.
it's
I
it's a
just give up.
transition goal.
give
Like you're
give up.
arguing against basic logic. We did not beat them from sustained possession. We beat them from a turnover in transition. That's what we did. That's
I
how we
give up.
scored.
I
That's not
give
beating
up
a low
with Liverpool
block.
fan. I can't continue with Liverpool fans like this. I just can't do it anymore. They're fucking delusional. Carry on, Sam.
How is that delusional?
It's delusional, man. Just
I
move
just-
on.
I can't lie. I even agree with Mike. I don't know why Jamie's
fucking
taking it so
delusional.
negatively.
I don't know why you're going so
We
crazy.
broke
with this.
them
Like,
down once. We did,
I
but
just-
we need
I-
to.
We only created
I just
one
want
big
to say
chance.
one thing.
It
All I'm
wasn't off of
saying,
sustained
all me
possession.
and Mike are saying, is we should do better creatively. That's not.
I just wanted to say one thing. Can I just say one thing, okay? And Mike, I don't want to argue with you, mate. Okay, I really don't. Okay, because Jamie's just done that. I don't. My whole point is Everton were unbeaten in I think it's 7 games,
Nine.
and it's the first time they've been beaten under Moyes this season. Just saying, okay? And they played Arsenal, by the way. Yeah, so just saying that. Yeah, that's all. Next thing, we haven't won the league in 4 years playing really attractive football. So, quite frankly, I could not give an F how we play football right now, as long as we win the league. And that's wonderful. And the next thing is, we're allowed to win games 1-0. Like, our fan base is just absolutely bonkers.
No one said
That we're not allowed to win a game 1-0 and be defensive.
No one is
And just-
saying that.
No
We're
one
just
is
saying we
saying
need to be
we're
more
You are
creative.
going.
a
You're
bit
going to the
negative
negative
football.
extreme. You're going
We're
to the
allowed-
negative.
You guys are
extreme.
both going so extreme. All me and Mike are
Right.
saying is we should be more creative. That's it.
Would you
Done.
love it? Would you?
What-
Would you have loved it to be a Chelsea fan when Mourinho played absolutely like 1-0 football all season and won a couple of league titles? Would you have loved?
I
it to be a Chelsea
understand what
fan?
you're saying,
Would
but
you have
that's not
loved
what
it
me
to have
and
been
Mike are bringing
Invincible,
up.
Don? Don,
Me
would
and
you love
Mike
it
are
to
not
be-
bringing up.
That
Arsenal
isn't what
Invincible?
we're
You guys
saying.
are
Though you're
both
completely
extreme.
missing the
Please.
point.
They played
Why are you
shit
going so
football,
extreme?
but they won games, and that's the way we might have.
You
to play
are
for the
going
next
so
7
extreme
games.
right now unnecessarily.
I
Listen,
don't
listen,
care.
listen to what we're saying. Listen, because you and Jamie are just losing your shit for no reason.
I don't.
All I'm saying is the following. And Mike, against Everton, we should have been more creative. That's it. We didn't insult
We
Slot.
couldn't.
We didn't insult the players. We didn't say anything negative about the team. All we're saying is, guys, can we have more than one clear-cut chance every half? That's all we're saying. That's all
But
we're
the thing
saying.
is,
Fucking hell.
I
You guys
agree.
are acting like
I
we're saying
agree.
something so crazy. The reason why this is happening is the following. Now, every time Gravenberg gets the ball, he has 2 midfielders on him. So that stops us progressing the football quicker. And every time Salah has the ball, he has 3 players on him because they are willing to let the other forwards do something and not let Salah do something. So that's basically what's happening. So our creativity has gone down, which is why, once again, keeping it consistent, and then Mike, after listening to him, actually ended up agreeing with me. We called out Szoboszlai for not taking enough risks. That's all we're saying.
Listen,
The guy was in the final third 3 or 4 times, and every time, all he fucking did as the number 10 is pass left and pass right. I'm expecting my number 10 to shoot at goal or create something.
I
That's
just want
not
to
an
ask
insult.
Jamie, Kmack, all I want to do, forget everything, forget Everton, right? The next game against Fulham, which I expect a win, right? And if I have critiques over it, I will face the heat then. All I'm going to ask you to do is I want you, like, when you identify a moment where we are controlling possession in their half and Fulham are now sitting back defensively, I just want you to stop watching the ball for 5 minutes and watch everyone else. And if you watch everyone who doesn't have the ball, you will understand why. You will understand my point of view based on our team's creativity. Just don't watch the ball for 5 minutes while we have possession. That's it. And you'll fully understand.
Here's where you're not getting it, right? This is where you're not getting it. If we were this creative against an open team that wanted to play basketball, end-to-end stuff, and had a high line, and we played like that, I'd be fully agreeing with you. Yeah, absolutely agreeing with you.
But we did,
Creating
Jamie,
only one
against
chance.
Newcastle and against PSG. We did.
I'm not on about Newcastle. I'm on about Everton. Let's not go back in time. Or I can go to the beginning of the season when we were fucking unbelievable, almost playing the same kind of way.
No, but that's why it's an issue. That's why it's an issue now. We said.
Why is it an issue? Why is it an issue?
We're saying over the last month.
Why is it an issue? Why is it an issue?
It shouldn't be an issue. We'll win him.
I'll explain it to you.
Go and look at the Premier League form of Liverpool in the last 10 games, please. Why is it an issue?
It's an issue because we're not just competing we weren't just competing in the Premier League. We were competing in other competitions.
So
as well.
under Jurgen Klopp, when we won the Premier League, we didn't win anything else. Was it an issue then?
No, so I'm not saying. I'm just speaking specifically to this season.
No, we can all do this back in time bullshit, yeah? So when Jurgen Klopp won the Premier League, yeah, on 97 points or 99 points, whatever it is, yeah, he didn't win anything else that year. Endz will remind me about this. I don't remember any other Liverpool fan complaining or moaning about anything else, yeah? It was the Premier League. All I've heard this week, and this is why I'm so pissed off, right? All I've heard this week is, yeah, the Premier League, we could have done so much better. Slot this, slot that. I don't remember these conversations.
I don't agree with that, though. I don't remember,
but that's what you're saying. I
that's
don't
not
agree
what I'm
with this
saying.
conversation's gone by. In the Premier League, if you get one chance to win the game and you win that game against a team that's been very organised, they've got 6'6" centre-backs at the back, they're not moving out of position, they're keeping defensively strut, they're really hard to break down, they're actually in pretty good form right now as well, and it's a Merseyside derby, and you win that game 1-0. Look at Real Madrid in the last few years, yeah? When you watch Real Madrid in the Champions League, how many teams absolutely outplay them, but they win 3-0? Right? I don't remember anyone saying individual brilliance won them that game. No one. I don't hear it ever. But when Liverpool do it, it's individual brilliance. We were shit. We didn't create anything. It was just individual brilliance. Well, here's something people might not like to hear, yeah? You buy world-class players for individual brilliance when it's not going your way. That's what you're buying for, yeah? So in games like Everton, I'm not saying we were fucking great. We weren't. We were poor. Yeah, we can play far better. Yeah, but we were playing against a team that was dogged, was sitting back, was laying back. They didn't want to come out and play. We saw that the whole game. And then we got that one chance and we made it matter. And we got the W. We moved on. This is what I'm trying to say, guys.
So can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? So when we were playing Newcastle in the final, right? That wasn't playing a dogged style, sitting back. What was the reason we created nothing?
Because we were crap. We're just crap on the day.
So why were we crap?
And that's Mike's point, the pattern. That's the point.
Why were we crap though?
Because we were just crap. There's no reason for it. We were just
so then
players didn't turn up.
Okay, so then when we played PSG, same thing. They weren't sitting back. Why were we crap?
We should have won that game. We should have won that game.
No, the first game. Why were we crap?
Why did we win?
We played
because Donnarumma is ass.
No, I don't want to hear all this shit again. We won that game. The second leg. Here's what Liverpool fans like to do, yeah? In the second leg, in the first 20 minutes, do you believe we should have been 2-0 up?
Yeah, we could have been. Yeah.
We should. No. Should we have been 2-0 up?
Yeah, we should have.
I'm not going to say should.
Thank you. So if we should have been 2-0 up, then the tactics were correct, weren't they? If we should have been 2-0 up in the first 20 minutes, our tactics were correct, weren't they?
So why weren't we 2-0 up?
Because the players didn't take their chances. Is that on the manager or the players?
The players, but that's how this conversation.
There you go.
But that's how this conversation started.
But they also scored their goal off another mistake.
Yes, but listen. This is how this conversation.
Score their goals off players' mistakes, but this season, it does happen a lot.
The conversation started based on rotation, right? That's what I started talking about, rotation, right? So you're talking about the players didn't. So let's speak specifically about Salah. Salah didn't put those 2 chances away versus PSG, and Salah's been at Liverpool now for 7 or 8 years. And what's the consistent theme? When we get to March, when we get to April, Salah's performances dip, right? So a lot of us thought, okay, we're playing a different style of play this year. Maybe Salah will be more preserved for the end of the season. And we're seeing right now, this season again, the performances are dipping from Salah. So if we have to put 2 and 2 together, what is causing who most of us on the panel think has been the best player in the world this year? Why is Salah not scoring those chances when he's been scoring it all year? Let me finish. Why is Gravenberch falling off a cliff when he's been performing all year? Why is DVD going to kick a ball and doing a spin-a-rooney when he's been performing all year?
That's the worst game I've seen Virgil play.
Put 2 and 2 together. These players are not performing at their peak level because they've been playing every single game.
Because it's April and no team.
We literally played PSG 120 minutes. We went to a final less than a week later, and we played the exact same 11 players.
I can't do this.
There's a reason we didn't perform against Newcastle.
I can't do this no more with Liverpool fans.
So everybody's happy that we beat Everton. Again, I'm not going to speak for myself.
I'm happy that we beat Everton.
No one's saying that. Oh, the performance. I don't care about the performances.
I've got a question for you. Who do you play?
Speaking to. Let me finish. I'm speaking.
Who do you play? You're talking about rotating. Who do you rotate?
This way for
PSG and Newcastle.
It's been a month now of these performances. It's not a one-off versus Everton. We've been performing this way, and we keep playing the same lineup. So if the tactics aren't going to change, if the players aren't going to change, then what's going to change? Yes, we beat Everton, but we beat them by the skin of our teeth. Beto could have scored once or twice. He was barely offside. He just missed.
I can't lie. You guys are being unnecessarily dramatic in this whole conversation. All me and Mike said was we should be more creative. That's it.
We should be more creative, but we played against an extremely low block team. It's hard to be.
I understand, Jamie. I agree with you. We played against a low block team, and that's why we're pissed off that we crossed the ball against a low block team when we had a midget up top and they had 3 NBA players. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, but they were trying to get Szoboszlai. Look, we don't play with just Jota.
And that's why we criticize Szoboszlai.
We play Szoboszlai and Jota up top. We play 4-2. We play 4-2-4. We don't play 4-2-3-1. Jota for the last 2 months has played as a centre forward. Yeah.
And we're actually agreeing with you. That's why we're criticizing.
So they were trying to get crosses.
Szoboszlai need to do better. No problem.
You're just explaining the tactics that I don't like.
And I saw someone in the chat as well saying this form will go into this Cockney, I think they said. I'm not a Cockney, first of all, because I'm South East London, not East London. And just got to let you know that. Got to let you know that, fella. And also, you're talking about, I don't understand that this form will go into next season. What, winning form? Cool. Bring it. Bring me winning form into next season. You're telling me to go win the Premier League next season and go, bring me winning form, man.
It's only title 21.
Just like, don't worry about it. Bring me winning form next season.
I don't know.
I do think we will beat Fulham, and I hope that we do. So let's just wrap it up there.
If we lose to Fulham,
Tom, I think Salah will score.
Like every time I talk, I just open up a can of worms. So apologies.
Yeah, there's no need to talk.
Mike.
No, Mike.
Isak and Cunha or Alvarez and Joao Pedro.
I already did, bro. I already defended
Now you
myself.
gotta defend yourself, bro.
I
Don't
just
let
view
these
the
guys
game.
cook you like that.
I
No,
just-
ends. Allow this whole like you just
No
like whole
one's
like
no
get
one,
your popcorn
no
now
one cooked
thing
shit.
you're
We
doing.
just
Also, I see what you're
we,
typing in the chat. You wouldn't cook anyone in a Salah debate.
I would
You would
cook
not.
you like a football
we
conversation.
prefer
you
different
guys
cuts
are
of
already-
meat.
No,
That's it.
No,
That's
you
it.
did not. When the season is over, bring me on football with Ends and don't bring any of your backup 1-on-1, and I'll destroy you in your own
Okay,
backyard.
all right, that's a deal.
No problem.
That's
no
a
problem.
deal.
Like I'm supposed to be scared of having a Salah debate. I've destroyed rival fans of Salah debates.
Yeah,
You
because
need to let me know when that is. I am
I'll
definitely
easily
tuning in.
destroy you by myself. I don't need any backup.
No
You get
problem.
me? And on top of that, I'm gonna go back to one thing. The reason why I want to win every game is because there's two types of Hussam.
I want the
There's
fucking
Hussam,
Ring
the
of
Liverpool-
Honor.
One second. It's because of Liverpool, the Hussam, the Liverpool fan, and Hussam, the content creator. I work with Igal every single week. And all I want is for us to get 97 points so I can look at Igal straight in the face and say, even if you had all your players fit, we would still won the league. So you can hold that. That's what I want. So I want us to win every
I want the
single
card
game.
of honor. Fuck the hypothetical.
And
I
I get
want
the card of
Mikel
honor.
Arteta's bitch ass standing there, clapping on Arnie Slot, the bald Dutchman coming into this league. Everyone said he was just going to be another Ten Hag. Nope, bald Dutchman, my leader, my winner, my glorious leader.
And also now there is a new target. Ainge
He did.
Postecoglou.
He is playing shit football.
Ainge Postecoglou is now a
Playing
new
shit football,
target.
but winning, Mike. Never seen anything like it, mate. Well done.
So 27th
Again,
April.
This is results versus
27th
performance
April.
analysis.
I want us to beat Ainge Postecoglou.
Fucking mental.
And that's because of his comments today, which I'll refer to in some other video, when he was last season after well done lads, good process, talking about, oh, refereeing mistakes happen, mate. You go fuck yourself. How about that?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
How about
He'll be
that?
sacked.
Go
He'll be
fuck
sacked
yourself.
after the result. That 27th will win the title and he'll be sacked. That's when.
By the way,
he-
promo, just to answer your question, for me
Right.
personally, I'd say Isak and Cunha. Can we all just answer this question and then we end the stream?
Isak and
Choose
Cunha,
one.
Yeah, go on. Isak and
Isak
Cunha.
and Cunha.
For what?
Choose one.
Partnership,
Real
probably.
Pedro.
Mike and Kmack.
What realistically, or who I really
No,
want?
no, just out of the two choices, choose one. I say Isak
Oh,
Cunha.
the players I want: Isak and Alvarez.
No, you have to choose one of the
Oh,
combinations.
man. Just
You can't cheat. Choose one.
Oh God, that's a tough one. Alvarez and Cunha.
Okay. That's not an answer either. It's either Isak and Cunha or Alvarez and Pedro. Choose one.
why is this?
Isak and Cunha.
Okay. And Mike, finally.
Isak and Cunha.
Listen, on that note, we can wrap up the stream before Jamie burns another 7,000 calories.
He's,
Big up to all of you
Isak and
guys. Make
Alvarez.
sure you guys are liking the video on your way out. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Mike Das LFC, Jamie Phillips Football Chats, Kmack channel. Emeka doesn't have a channel yet. Football with Ends, all in the description. Go give them a subscribe. And subscribe to this channel as well. The road to 50k continues. We're almost there. Tomorrow, Liverpool, Everton. Arsenal, thank God that game is over. Arsenal, Everton watch along. Forest Villa watch along, inshallah. And I have a show at 9 p.m. UK time. Talking all stuff Premier League. So full schedule tomorrow. So love you all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah.